Welcome back to Action Tune Bros Special Star Wars Visions. This is your host, Matthew Lewis, because I'm the evil emperor who does not make an appearance in all these episodes. Who's that talking?
Hi.
I'm just Jedi.
Hi, I'm just a random normie non-force user named Ben, the co-host.
Hey, Ben, the co-host.
I'm the boring.
Welcome to the episode.
I'm
I'm just kicking my cats out of my room before they start destroying shit. It's been a bit since we recorded our first half. Have you indulged in any other Star Wars content outside of the podcast, Ben?
I did watch the final season of Rebels because I reacquainted myself with it because I am curious about the Ahsoka series.
Honestly, there's three different bits that are like surprisingly relevant to this batch of episodes that happened just in, like, as of this recording. We're recording this right before Thanksgiving in November. There are three bits of news that have been going around about Star Wars, and like they're all, or at least two of them are relevant to this. And I'm glad you specifically said you rewatched Rebels. Did you hear the Rebels writer talking about his opinion on Sabine's arc in the Ahsoka series?
No, I have not. I don't know anything about this.
Well, he was saying that. I don't want to spoil Ahsoka, but Sabine has like a very unique arc that she goes through after the bit with like throughout the season, and it has like a very surprising twist at the end of it. But there's an arc, the Darksaber arc in Rebels. He that's one of the things that he wrote. He's like saying how like that was kind of like it not contradict, but it's like competing with how she ends up in the end of Ahsoka season 1. And it was just like, it was very dramatic because he was like, like arguing with another Star Wars creator, just like how Rian Johnson and what the hell is the dude who did Last Jedi? I
don't remember, but I know who you're talking
about. Who's the one who did the oh goddamn, I forgot his name. The dude who did Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
Yeah, again, I know who you're talking about. I just don't remember the names.
Well, remember those two like competing directors like didn't like each other's visions, and they were kind of arguing about what was happening, and like like retconning, but like So the bit watch when you get a chance, watch Ahsoka and like tell me how you think about the actual resolution of that like storyline, because it was very interesting, and I liked where Sabine's stuff went, and I'm looking forward to Ahsoka season 2 to see where it goes from there. But I was very surprised to see him kind of like not like gelling with it. But what did you think of this last season of Rebels? Because I haven't seen it in forever.
Oh my god! Like, just everything about it is really good. I like the mystery of where Ezra goes, because I love that because we don't know. Well, currently I don't know because I haven't seen Ahsoka yet. But I like it. It all kind of resolves pretty nicely, actually, especially with Kanan Jarrus. But the fact that they left it open with Ahsoka and Sabine, and come on, who the hell doesn't like Thrawn as a villain?
Thrawn fucking rules.
Like holy,
the Mickelson brother.
See, here's the thing. I could not appreciate when I first watched it. I did not appreciate him as much as I do now. Because I rewatched it and I'm just like, holy shit, this guy is like, this is a good fucking villain right here.
Hell yeah. There's a reason that they brought back the original author from the Timothy Zahn from the 90s Thrawn book series that everybody fell in love with to like do the modern stuff for him as well. Yeah.
Good. So they actually got the original writer of Thrawn to actually do his stuff. Good.
Yeah.
That makes it even better. Gonna be real. That makes it even better.
Hell yeah. But
it was such a good season. Anyway, other thing?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the other thing was I recently announced that the that like Andor, the show that Disney spent more on the seasons of Andor than they did for any of the Star Wars movies that were actually released in theaters. And that show is so like low spectacle that it's like astonishing that they put so much crazy amount of effort and like cinematography into it. That's another huge recommendation. But yeah, it was like a funny revelation. Now, like, yeah, one season of Andor, which is basically like 8 crazy good ass spy movies. It costs like more than any of the actual individual Star Wars movies that Disney made.
You did say that the I forget what it's called, like the Tales of, or the Stories of, like the Empire, the Bounty. Which ones did you recommend of those?
The Tales of the Jedi I really liked.
Okay.
Well, some of them I really liked. Tales of the Empire, I liked a bit of it, but then it had one of the worst resolutions for one of my favorite characters. Just absolutely horrible. I hated it, and I was really upset. And then I didn't even bother watching the one Tales of Bounty Hunters, which is like also on the list. Sorry, these cats keep sneaking into my damn room. Anyway, and yeah, like the I haven't watched Tales of Bounty Hunters. I hope it's good, but like the way they're broken up, it's like each one is 3 episodes around a specific character outside, but it's like in the Clone Wars art style. And yeah, I would definitely recommend to Dooku. The first one, the Tales of the Jedi is about following Dooku and his fall from the Jedi Order. It fucking so good. That's incredible.
Good. That's cool.
Yeah, and then the second half is 3 episodes about Ahsoka when she was like a baby on her home planet and like being found by Plo Koon and them, who like raised her, and her joining the Order and everything. It's pretty decent. And then it's the 2. Did you finish The Mandalorian?
I still have yet to watch.
I mean, the first season.
The Mandalorian. That has what, 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have yet to watch the 3rd season because I did watch the first 2.
Okay, you saw the episode with Ahsoka, right?
Yeah, well, because that's when Mando goes to see Grogu as he's being trained by Luke, and Ahsoka's there too.
Oh no! Before that, when we first see Ahsoka on that planet.
Yeah.
With the governor.
Yeah, with the like the Beskar spear.
Yeah, she was actually on the Dathomir Witch's planet when she was young, and the first 3 episodes of Tales of the Empire are following her, like as Grievous and the droids come and completely wipe out all the witches of Dathomir. It's a really fucking cool ass arc. And then it goes into her becoming the governor of that planet and everything that happens there, and then she's relevant to the actual Ahsoka TV show after that. But yeah, it's there's like and then the second half is Barriss Offee, terrible. I hated it. I wish it wasn't canon. Now I know how all the Star Wars haters feel.
Lovely.
Yeah, but the other that's one bit of the news is that the split between Sabine's arc in not Clone Wars, Rebels, and then her arc in Ahsoka. And the other thing I was talking about, the Andor thing. Personal wise, what Star Wars media I've been ingesting was recently, as we were talking about before the podcast started, I have like a huge fan of playing like semi-mindless games I can just zone out and chill to. I was like, okay, I've platinumed Elden Ring years ago. And I'm just like, redoing builds and just redoing the game again on New Game Plus 7. Just like, I need something new. Let me try out these. I need another Souls-like game to play. And so I tried Dark Souls 2 because I love the story. And I was like, boy, this game fucking plays like shit. I can't do this. And I was just like, wait a minute. There's another amazing Souls-like game that's actually Star Wars based that I can play. And so I'm on New Game Plus of Jedi Survivor. And goddamn, that game is fucking incredible. One of the first bosses you fight is the goddamn Inquisitor that you like cut the arm and leg off of in the first game. It's so fucking cool. It's great. You get to see the Emperor turn the entire Jedi temple into like his own palace on Coruscant. There's just so much fucking cool ass shit in that game. It's like, have you played it yet?
Jedi Survivor, is that the sequel to the
Fallen Order?
Yeah, that is the sequel one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've seen some gameplay of it, but I did have an interest in like the gameplay because, like you said, it kind of pretty much reminded me of like Soulsborne but Star Wars.
It's explicitly like a Soulsborne game. Like you rest at meditation spots, which are basically the bonfires. Enemies respawn, and it's like a lot of parrying combat, but also tons of fucking force magic. And then the actual exploration of the world. There's like multiple huge planets that you're just doing tons of missions on, just vibing out. It's so fucking fun. But yeah, I've been vibing out on that recently, and I'm like, hell yeah, Star Wars is fucking great. I'm glad it's an end. We get a really cool Inquisitor in this little batch of episodes, so it's awesome.
I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
Really? Oh, well, we'll get there. But yeah, but in general, Star Wars is awesome. Still plenty of content. There's content you don't have to like, content you can love. It's fucking so much. It's a beautiful universe that there's just so much to explore, and you don't have to like all of it, but the bits you like can fucking really have a huge impression on you.
True. But speaking of, think we should get this started?
Yeah. 10 minutes of preamble. This isn't movie garbage where we spend 3 hours talking about not the movie or episode. So let's actually get to the episodes.
Well, yeah, because we usually spend about 3 hours at the end of the episode.
Yeah, talking about how we feel and ideas and shit. So let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So this would be
Visions.
Episode
6. The Spy Dancer. By Studio Lachette. Cachette.
Yeah, is this a French studio?
Yes, it is. I believe so.
Okay, cool.
So we start on 2 stormtroopers on an occupied planet. They are riding in an MTV-7 light vehicle. They're kind of just like right. You see 2 like a fat dude and a skinny dude. They're going to some sort of theater. The actual creator referred to it as a cabaret explicitly. So they're like, oh man, you're going to love this show. It's so damn good, and we have special treatment for us soldiers. The big soldier is kind of just like, razzing the newbie dude, and he kind of like kicks over a service droid, like, yeah, get out of my way, droid, as they like enter the building, and they're seated by a hostess, a waitress named Hettis. She greets them very happily. She's like, oh, soldiers, the race isn't, they're like near human. They have heterochromia. They have like one blue eye, one yellow eye, and they have like these tiny little horns on their head. But other than that, they look like dark-skinned humans. The new trooper takes off his helmet, and he's just like, wow, this place is beautiful, as they enter, and then like the other dude has like slightly dirty arm. He's like, yeah, man, this is awesome. It's a beautiful theater, and he's just like, oh, this is like a dream come true. It's absolutely beautiful. The larger soldier is just like, hey, man, chill out, man. You gotta relax. You don't seem too eager. The waitress then, like after she seats the 2 dudes, goes behind stage, and we meet the main dancer, Loie. She's talking about how much she hates these invaders, and then Hettis, the one who seated the people, is just like, I can't wait till we go through with this plan to get these people. This is going to be so good. I want to help more. And she's like, I want a bigger role. And she's like, absolutely not. You're treating this like, you're like, Hettis, you need to be more careful. We need to be more, conscious of what's going on. You need to be, you put yourself in danger. The dancer then gets very calm, gets a call from a dude named John.
Yes.
He's working. Yeah.
He's working.
They're workers on some kind of big, giant, large device, and saying it's almost ready.
Yep. He's like, yeah, we're almost done on our end. So what about your end? She's like, everything's going all right. And they're like part of a resistance, but they're like working on. Was it like a starship or something, or? It's
some sort of larger device, and also she has like a larger. She's like all the trackers are set. She has like a bunch of little trackers on her that she's getting ready to disperse. And they say today is going to change everything. And then they mention a stargazer, which is some mysterious thing that they're also using. All the stagehands begin to get ready for the actual thing, and then they join together and they pray before the thing. They say, to the ones we've lost, and to the ones we've lost, as they all prepare to do something. The stage show starts, and we see an Imperial officer with a KX unit also join the show in a high balcony seat. Loie begins to dance in this enormous gown, this really beautiful drapery dress. She's dancing all throughout the soldiers in this huge flowing outfit. But as she's passing them off, she's tagging them with the trackers. She's throwing little dots on some of them as she beautifully dances through them. As she's swinging on these crazy rope dancing, she does see the Imperial officer, and she is suddenly just completely shocked. And
we're talking she's high up, and she slips on one of her ribbons and falls down. where she gets saved by the younger waitress lady who is also a part of
Yeah.
this act, and
She also she has a flashback to the Imperial officer and that specific KX droid bursting into her house and taking her. Like she has like a vision of that before she falls. Yeah.
yeah, and then as that's happening, everyone thinking it's part of the act is just like, yeah, Loey, and is it Loey or is it Louie?
It's LOI apostrophe E.
Apostrophe E,
So
yeah.
Loey.
Yeah, Loey. I just don't want to butcher names. But anyway,
Yeah.
so, it's like, wait, what happened? And she's like, all right, you need to get everyone out of here. I have one last thing I need to do. And, the younger one's like, wait, what are you talking about? And she's like, just go and do it. She calls Jean. She's like, are you still there? He's like, yeah, what's going on? And, she's like, everyone's heading to you. I'm going to stay behind just for a little while. There's something I really have to do right now. As you see, like, her golden wristbands, like, armband wristband, you see, like, one of them extends to, like, a sharpened, like, I want to say, just some
long
kind of
wrist
needle.
blade, yeah. Assassin's Creed wrist blade.
Yeah, kind of, but it's not really a blade. It's more like a needle, if anything.
Yeah, it's like a very long stiletto knife.
Yeah, that's what it was, a stiletto. And, as she's, as this happens, she goes back out for Act 2.
And we see the frog alien musician do a little Star Wars bit as he says, I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, he said the thing!
Yeah. But then he's playing music, seemingly using the Force, which is very fucking cool. He's like playing instruments but not touching them. Loey begins to dance like a crazy fiery red outfit this time. As she's like, going through the, like, spinning on the ropes again, she gets to the actual officer and pulls the blade on him. But it's revealed that this is a young man and not the older gentleman with the KX who stole her baby back in the past. Loey, she's like completely like shocked. I was like, oh my god. He's like, you rebel scum. As the KX unit grabs her and like immediately tosses her away. It's like crazy. The trooper, they all get up like, oh, helmet up, and like everyone's like putting their outfits on, and she's like, actually preparing to actual combat, pulling up their weapons. And this is when she pulls her blades out, like actual swords out, and she starts actually going through all the people. Hettis is climbing down the stairs, but like falling glass makes her she stops suddenly, like, okay, I think she's gonna need some help. Fire. Suddenly, like, everyone's tense and everyone's kind of like, standing off, but then like glass falls over and all the troops just start firing suddenly. And she just starts dancing through them. It's really fucking cool ass fight scene. She's like taking him out with her robes and her cloth, like just like a cool ass fucking fight scene with like a really beautiful dancer. The big trooper is like then beaten up by the droid he kicked over earlier, which is very funny. The lights go out and Hettis is like getting ready to fire on the young officer, but last minute Loey again saves him. And the KX unit, like, fucking shoots back at her, nearly killing both of them. Loey takes the officer up to the rafters outside of the actual thing, but the KX unit begins to climb up her, like, dress ropes after her. The officer's is like, what do you want? And she's just like, when you were a child, were you thinking? She, like, starts explaining what's going on. But the droid then suddenly grabs her thing and starts yanking her back down. This is when Hettis, again, manages to wrap the KX in a different dress robe, knocking it down. She tangles it up in a really fucking cool-ass way. And she actually manages to, like, pull it apart. It's fucking a cool-ass fucking thing. Jim Saws in half. Vibro baton. Okay, let's see. Hettis manages to Arthur Jordan the ropes, ripping it in half. Oh, yeah, the officer then pulls out a vibro baton, is, like, swinging at her. The top half of the KX unit starts, like, grabbing at Hettis, but then suddenly Jean pops up and, like, saws it in half with this big-ass saw. Very fucking cool. Also, I didn't mention the KX unit is the big ones from Rogue One. The, like, funny... And also from Andor. When you actually get to see them, like, actually being threatened, like, a whole squad of them taking out some riders. It's fucking terrifying how fucking strong those things are whenever it's crazy.
It really is when you think about it.
Oh, I guess we'll talk about it at the end of the episode. Loie's dodging the gentleman who's like the young officer who's trying to like stab her with or hit her with the baton, and she's like, explaining like 20 years ago, an Imperial officer with that KX unit came to my village and stole my son. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. You're lying. She does manage to disarm him with her robes again, and she hugs him really tight to her. As the sun rises, we see a number of AT-ATs on the horizon arriving on the planet, meaning that this planet is like, it's going down now. The officer is then like rescued by a number of troopers who start shooting at Loie. She flees onto the rebel ship piloted by Jean. She like nearly misses, or Hedis like again tries to like catch her while she's falling because she almost misses the ship. As they are leaving, she's like holding Hedges' hand. She tells him that Hedges, she found her son. And then we see in our Quintus class command cruiser, which is like this thinner looking Star Destroyer. We see the boy looking at the medallion that he like. During the fight, she handed him a medallion, and he like opens it and looks inside, and we see a hollow of a little horned baby from this race of people. He looks at it, he takes his hat off, and we see that he has some kind of like little nubs that were removed, and he kind of like scratches his head and puts the hat back on, and he looks out into space. And that's where the episode ends.
But, actually, you forgot to mention that on the back of the medallion is a tracker.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep, little tracker, so hopefully they'll find each other someday. A beautiful episode.
Oh my god, very.
Yeah, there was forever ago, there was a movie I saw about the actual ribbon dancing and like how it actually works, and it was like about a woman discovering that she would like love doing that. It's really dangerous and really cool. And it was really cool seeing it actually like animated like this in this crazy cabaret thing. Yeah, like I was saying, the KX units, the one in Andor is very funny and strong and like, voiced by Alan Tudyk, a great voice actor who does comedic shit all the time. But the actual, like when you see in the show Andor, not Rogue One, KX units that are working for the Empire, like taking out actual rioters, they are fucking terrifying, and they are like a mini boss in Jedi Survivor, where they'll like fucking grab you out of from a corner, and they're like really fucking tough. And it's really cool seeing them. They're some of my favorite droid designs in all of Star Wars. This was actually explicitly based on the Cambodian genocide by the Khmer Rouge in the 70s, where they would take people's families away, make them into officers or soldiers, and like have them again fire on their people. A horrible thing that happened like not too long, only in the 70s, so not too long ago. The voice actor for Jean was Lambert Wilson, who you may know as the Merovingian from The Matrix. He's been in a couple of other movies, but that's like the main thing I know him from.
Okay.
But yeah, he's fucking awesome. The actual studio, La Cachette. Again, each of these episodes has a filmmaker focus about the actual studios. And Ben, me and you are familiar with this studio specifically. I don't know if you caught on to it. Primal.
Really?
Yeah, they did Primal. They did episodes of Love, Death, and Robots. And they also worked on a specific flashback episode of the Devil May Cry series. That was like done in this art style by them.
Okay.
But yeah, Primal's like the main thing that they're the main thing that the studio is known for.
I was wondering about that because the art style looked very, like, if not exact, but it looked very familiar to Primal, and that makes sense.
Yeah, studio based out of Paris, France. They again had total freedom to do whatever they wanted, and they did. Like I said, they wanted to put French influences in it. I don't know. I think Cambodia, like Vietnam, near at the time, was like a French colony. That's why the Khmer Rouge stuff was going down there. The studio's name means the hideout, La Cachette, which is relevant to the actual episode. They pitched a bunch of different ideas. They didn't think that their cabaret idea would pass because it wasn't about the Force. But again, Lucasfilm said, no, studios, you guys have total freedom, do whatever you want. And that's why they made this fucking awesome ass thing. The planet is called Bibel. It is inspired by Montmartre, which was the Montmartre was a cabaret frequented by Nazis during their occupation of France back in that 40s. So that's, again, another crazy-ass specific inspiration by this really cool-ass episode. Loie was based on an actual spy and dancer, Josephine Ballar. And another one, Mata Hari, who was another like dancer spy. But yeah, she's actually based on another explicit person. The Moulin Rouge, well, the actual like not the movie, the actual cabaret was another
like
inspiration for the actual. Yeah, it was actually the inspiration for this bit. And they also wanted to see the stormtroopers in a new context because you never really see them relaxed and with their helmets off because that was like a whole new idea. Another person at Loie was like the style of dance was based off of Louise Fuller, who was like a drape dancer. They referred to them as. They were proud to mix the choreography and the action and the spying, which I think it came together fucking beautifully.
Oh my god, it did, yeah.
Yeah, so damn good. The music was, of course, again, based on Star Wars, but they added some like more choir and electronics to it, which is, fucking beautiful. They also wanted like they said like a more feminine version of the Vader and Luke sequence, which is reversed. Again, just like I'm Your Mother kind of. An actual evil Imperial young man officer revealed that his mother is actually a rebel spy, which is it's literally the opposite. It's so goddamn good. And she's tempting him to the light, just like, Luke was tempted to the dark. Let's see, the voice actor, had the lead voice actor for Hettis had like her uncle was a huge Star Wars fan in the 70s, and he like had a shit ton of all of the like Star Wars figures and toys and stuff. And like when she was a kid, the Bounty Hunter episode, or the Bounty episode, episode what is that, 6, where Leia was like in disguise as the Bounty Hunter at Jabba's palace.
Right, yeah.
She like showed her that toy when she was a kid, and so like this is actually Leia. She's actually a princess, and they're like, oh my god! It was like she was like so like, shocked by that like this weird bounty hunter person was actually a secret princess. But yeah, this is the first time that the studio has actually written and directed and cast their own show. Like I said, they're working for Genda Tartakovsky with Primal. They're working with Netflix for Love, Death, and Robots, and then Adi Shankar for Devil May Cry. But yeah, this is the first time that they've actually had their own thing, their own idea, and their own like story that they could do from the ground up themselves. That's pretty much it for the filmmaker focus. Fucking incredible. I love this episode.
Oh my god, like the animation was great, the soundtrack was great, the characters were actually a whole lot of fun. Even freaking Doofus 1 and Doofus 2 at the beginning, because like you said, it was kind of refreshing to see like all the stormtroopers be like, hey, we're off duty. We put our pants on the same way as everyone else. Let's just relax a little bit, kind of thing. It was I know, odd way of putting it, but yeah, just like, and again, this studio is fantastic. I mean, now knowing that they did Primal makes a lot more sense, but like, just I love the designs, I love the set pieces, even some of the backdrops. I love just everything about that, like that Moulin Rouge-esque building and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Superb. And yeah. I guess you could argue, because like a lot of these episodes, not all of them, you could say that her usage, like she was able to use the Force, and she was able to do it through her dance, like especially when they're all like shooting the lasers at her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, my god! Everything was so good about this episode.
Yeah, it was fucking incredible. This one, I was gonna say, the bit we have with these short films, like referred to that episode, they're short films, I guess technically. So you would do like a follow up series about this, standalone as it is, or like the other one I pitched was like a movie. A full-length movie. What should you prefer for this little bit? Oh,
this one right here could definitely go with a follow-up series.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, if it was expanded into a movie, it would be better than, like, I'm a sequels defender, and a, prequel defender as well. If this was actually stretched out into, like, a full-ass movie, it would be like one of the fucking best around, I think. It's so goddamn good.
I can see that. I can see this as a full-length movie as well.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, it's just, this one, kind of a breath of fresh air, like, just with everything about it. And I say, like, usage of the Force, it's not really implied or anything. They're just a bunch of rebels, so for all I know, she's just really fucking good at dodging lasers.
yeah, that's true. But I would say, yeah, that insane dancing ability and spying ability. I hope she's a force sensitive. That'd be fucking cool as hell.
Right.
And also, yeah, fucking great. Also, yeah, good to see another alien pro tag. They're rare in Star Wars stuff, so it's good to see a nice
surprisingly
alien lead.
enough.
Yeah, and especially a near human looking species, a race like this. But yeah, fucking really, really good. And based off some really dark, really specific subject matter, which is good to see.
Yeah,
represented.
I'm a little surprised about that. That it was based off of like something like completely dark and like a black spot on the record of history, but like
multiple different ones. One from the 40s and one from the 70s, just like the dark history of France, and
Whew.
Incredible.
Indeed. But yeah, now this next one is an interesting one.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, this one, there's actually a very recent major controversy about this one. But we'll get to that one at the end. So, are you ready for Visions Season 2, Episode 7? The Bandits of Golak. By 88 Pictures.
Which, okay, Matt.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to assume, and it is kind of difficult. Saudi Arabia or India?
Really? It's explicitly Indian.
Okay, look, I'm fucking ignorant. I'll be the first to say it. I don't want to just
you could have said
something.
You could have said like Pakistan or India would have been more than fucking Saudi Arabia. That's like completely different like countries. Pakistan would have been closer.
Yeah, but
Pakistan. Well, I mean, honestly, don't careful because you're gonna get in trouble with that.
I told you, I'm
the history,
and this is why I don't just assume things. This is why I ask.
The history of Pakistan and India being like formerly one country and now split is part of the actual story of what's going on here. But we'll get into that at the end.
Well, we start off on like a train in like a desert.
Cool ass hover train. Yeah.
And where we meet our two
on
characters.
the planet Golak.
What's up?
It's a hover train on the planet Golak.
Oh yes, on the planet Golak, where we meet our two pro tags. Ronnie, I know, is the little girl, but who's I forget who the boy is.
Charuk.
Yeah, Charuk, right. And of course, they're sitting on a train, and Ronnie's asking, is Papa gonna be okay? I mean, and she talks about how the Imperials like attacked their city and just like burnt everything, and Ronnie's, hey, don't worry, he's gonna be all right. We just had to go ahead of him, is all, kind of thing. And as this is all happening, we see the train like the two pilots of the train, or I guess they would be called the conductors.
As a captain.
Captain. That's either way. It's hard with a futuristic train. He looks around. The older one looks around and is like kind of tense, and he just speeds the train up, and the younger one like kind of falls down. And he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "We have to hurry up through this path specifically because this crevasse, where this crevasse. Thank you. Because there's a lot of bandits here." Mm-hmm. And as you see, as the train like goes around a bend, you see like on the side of a cliff, there's like a whole bunch of little huts and stuff. So it's just like, and we're talking like it's littered with them. So as we cut back to our two pro tags, Ronnie is kind of like pseudo sleeping, kind of bored, and she sees a flute inside her brother's pack, and she's like, she goes to get it, and her brother's like, no, we're not gonna, you can't play it. And she's like, but Papa gave it to me, it's mine. He's like, no, don't, we're not doing this right now, all right? And what was it called? The vendor, he has what kind of sweet treat?
Lebby.
Yeah, and it looks like a spiral.
Also, it's
like lollipop.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's also the race is the Aki from as Ben pointed out during our Rise of Skywalker episode, from the Midian system. It's one of those octopus-headed dudes from the
Midian
system.
One of those guys. You're right. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, blem, 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 blem. So I keep saying that for some reason, even though he's selling Lebby. It's very cool. It's really
Lebby, blem, blem. And of course, immediately, she wasn't able to get her flute. So she's like, I'm hungry. Give me food. I'm starving right now. And of course, her brother's like, okay, fine. How about we play a little game? And of course, it was like Bandits and something or other.
Yeah, they play Bandits, and they're going to snag some of the Lebby. And then what their little sentence that they say to each other, it says, in pursuit of sweets and plunder, the bandits ride for feast and wonder. As they do a little hand gesture to each other, yeah.
And she is the bandit chief. Yeah. And so he's like, all right, you need to wait right here, bandit chief. And he goes over to...
he's like, God, the bandit chief is right here, and like a bunch of people on the train, like this very stuffed train full of aliens, like, what the fuck?
They're not necessarily being quiet about it. So it's like, what are these two dumb kids doing? And so, what's the brother's name again?
Charuk.
Yeah, Charuk. Thank you. Charuk goes up to do whatever it is he's gonna do. Something tells me he's gonna play Aladdin with this and like try to steal.
Yeah.
As he gets up, Rani actually holds out her hand to the flute, and the flute floats to her. And unbeknownst to her, other people were watching this because she wasn't necessarily hiding it.
Yep, two alien passengers see her doing this. He's waiting in line, and then suddenly he begins to hear the music as he realizes that she's playing the flute. He looks back, and the two that saw her using the Force are talking to a stormtrooper at this time. Charuk suddenly sees what's going on, so he runs forward, steals the candy. As the troopers are approaching Rani, he's like, hey, I'm over here. Hey, I'm stealing candy. And yelling for them. He begins to dodge through the troopers throughout the train. Eventually, when they have him cornered, he leaps out onto the outside of the train. And they're kind of like, what the hell happened? And then it cuts back to the train captain or the conductor. He's concerned about the Jungari settlements again. He's kind of like, okay, we're entering the Jungari settlements here. Let's prepare. Get ready. Back inside, Charuk is now on top of the train as the troopers are kind of searching around for him. Also, we didn't mention that the two are obviously Indian-coded humans. So all the troops also have very Indian accents, which is very cool. Charuk as they're, oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah, I heard that, dude. I heard that little.
Yeah, it's some assholes honking outside my door. It's rush hour. Charuk's on top of the train as he sees the troopers searching, and then suddenly we see a bunch of them riding on speeder bikes outside on the sides of the train. Inside the train, Rani is confronted by those two assholes who saw her using the Force, and they're like, "Hey, we saw that. The Empire pays good money for kids like that." Charuk then calls to her from the roof, just as the Jungari bandits arrive, and they are on. I've had to look up the animals that they are. Tangor beasts is the animals that they're riding. Very, very cool design. They begin to fire at Charuk and the troopers. As they flee down the top of the train, a very fun little train sequence, and Rani is fleeing on the inside of the train. And then Charuk calls the Jungari people rebels outside, which is very, that's what they are. They're fighting against the Empire. They're not just bandits. We see the Jungari get blasted in the face by stormtroopers. It's a crazy ass violent fight. As they're running on top of the inside of the train to meet each other, Rani uses the Force to open a latch and save Charuk last second before they go into the into a cave pass.
And of course,
reunited.
They're reunited. Everything's kind of chill and everything, but I think as the the what do you call them, the Jundari?
Jungari.
Yeah, thank you. The Jungari, they're not going to go into that tunnel, and they just stop their raid and everything. And then we cut to a city, if I recall, yeah?
Yep. Rani's tired, so she wants to go home.
Yep, but of course, Charuk is like, no, we can't go home. Again, Papa wanted me to take you here, and look, he has like this little holocast of a building. He's like, this is our destination. We need to find this place right here. All right, and so he like kind of carries her, and they just walk through this entire very beautiful city, mind you.
Yeah, it's like a crazy beautiful bazaar.
Yeah, and as they're walking through, they see like a long stretch of desert outside, and on the outskirts of town, there's this singular, pretty sizable building. And Chadwick is like, "Yep, there's the building right there." And so by the time they get to this building, it's already nighttime, and this building is lit up. Like we've got like
I said like Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It's like neon lights with some string lights and everything going on. And as they go in, there's like a whole bunch of other like little settlement, like a whole bunch of different buildings, kind of like a outside cantina type dealio going on. Mm-hmm. And there's like a really tall building as well. And there's just a whole bunch of there's just a whole bunch of like different kinds of aliens just sitting around, and a taller one, like one's playing a weird horn, and like a taller one is beating up on a smaller one, like, hey, I know what you did, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a Caridian. They were in Rogue One and Andor. Keeps coming up. And then the other little ugly dude was an Ugnaught from the original series.
Oh, that was an Ugnaught, was it?
Yep, he claims that the Ugnaught threw a loaf at him, and that's why he's beating him up. But then suddenly this old woman with all these like tattoos and face piercings shows up, named Rugal. And as she approaches, she says, "Final warning, you maggots," and to kind of like stop fighting. She sees the two siblings and tells them that they will be safe here as they settle down to eat some more lebi.
Yep, they sit down eating more lebi, and I forget what the conversation is that.
Chadwick's kind of looking around, suspicious at all the people and all the different, all the different aliens and stuff around. Ronnie is, being playful, and she's, floating a plate of lebi above his head. And he's, trying to tell her to stop doing that, and he accidentally hits the Caridian, the big giant alien, again, as he, begins to beat up the Ugnaught once more.
Yeah, right.
But as that happens, yeah.
Yep. As that happens, one of the other aliens is, looking like, hey, that's a pretty neat trick kind of thing going on. And we have, this, multi-armed guy just playing music as the Ugnaught is getting his butt handed to him. But then...
Hell yeah. Then they are approached by a green, huge, handlebar mustached Inquisitor. And bracketed with two Purge troopers.
Oh, that's what those are. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the main dude is an Inquisitor, explicitly. They, immediately sit down, and he's, talking to the students, hey, I've heard of rumors that there was a child who's Force-sensitive around here, and that he's here searching for them. He, during his search, came across a village, and he's the one who burnt it to the ground. Presumably this is their original home village. And he's as he's talking to them, he's using the Force to pull their chairs forward closer to him, and he's a very, very cool design dude. He
looks very intimidating too, actually.
Yeah,
but as he's inquiring with them, they look up, and the siblings look up, and the brother's like, Ronnie, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm not doing this, because every single plate is in the air now. And of course, when they all drop or hit somewhere or anything, the Inquisitors are like, aha, I knew it was you, kind of thing. And obviously there's a little bit of a scuffle. We also forgot to mention that there was mention earlier of a storm about to hit.
Yep, that's true. The pair, as they, he prepares to take them in, Rugal, the older woman, is then, shown there, as we see that her staff is actually a pair of blue lightsabers. Very fucking cool. The Inquisitor then pulls out the old fucking...
I just call it the Inquisitor.
Dealio.
I just call it the Inquisitor blade because, let's be honest,
I'm sure it has a specific name, but I've never
whatever.
looked at. Yeah, I've never looked up the actual name of them, but I love this saber. I would buy one that's probably gonna be way too expensive. But yeah, the spinning lightsaber of the Inquisitors. He does a quick little spin to try to float up a little bit, and then they actually do have a very cool fight scene throughout the crazy storm going on. And this is the bit that's actually been a little bit controversial, but I'll get to that at the end of the episode. He jumps in the air, she uses the force to push him back, and then they have their little standoff saying, "Oh wow, a Jedi in Golak, like who could imagine?" And then they do their little samurai quick slash by each other, and she actually has cut his throat.
And of course, his final words are just a Jedi in Golak, and then he just dies. And then the lady puts her lightsabers away and looks at Irani and her brother and are like, "Come on, this way." She walks over to I almost said a pond for some reason, like the fountain.
Fountain.
Yeah, the fountain, and she uses the Force to reveal a secret passage. And she's like, "All right, you must go down." It looks at Ronnie and is like, "You must go down this tunnel. There are more like you here." And she's like, "Can my brother join me?" She's like, "Nope, it's got to be just you." And she's like, she doesn't want to go down because she doesn't want to go without her brother. But her brother's like, "Look, Papa knew that you were going to be different. So you should go. This will be safe for you. Don't worry. We'll see each other again," kind of thing. And they do their little bandit saying thing.
Yeah, and then for us, feast and wonder, and they do a little hand gesture again.
Yep. And after that, she goes down, and the fountain just fills back up, bubbling just a little bit. And, the brother just kneels down, sad that he had to let his sister go.
In fact, he gives her some Lebby before she goes.
That's right, yeah. But then, after that, and after she's now gone, he just sits and looks at the fountain for a bit. And as we see even more bubbles appear, and we see floating towards him, is the wooden flute. He picks it up, and as he walks away, he just starts playing it. And that's where the episode ends.
Yeah. Oh no, he says, "May the Force be with you."
Oh yes. Yeah.
The art style in this episode was it looks identical almost to Clone Wars art style. But like I said, it was designed by a different studio outside of Mumbai, but the actual art style and the physics of it looked very explicitly like Clone Wars to me, almost to a T. It's very weird. Also, First Inquisitor in this little batch of episodes, very, very happy about that. Love seeing them whenever they show up. As silly as they are and as easily as they get their asses handed by any real Jedi, it's always fucking cool to see them whenever they show up. Chaduk's voice actor, Sadush Sharma, he was in... Have you ever seen the movie Life of Pi?
I've heard of it, and I know it's based off of a book.
Yeah, I read the book and then before seeing the movie. I'm not personally a fan of it. It's about religion and stuff like that, so I wasn't really hugely into it. But he's the lead actor in that, and he was very good in that movie. And then the other thing he's major was the How I Met Your Father, the sequel series to How I Met Your Mother. He's a main character in that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't think a huge number of the actors and voice actors were a number of famous Indian voice actors and actors, which I'm obviously not gonna be familiar with any of their shit. So, but yeah, that's the bit. I'll get to the actual controversy later. But first, the filmmaker focus: 88 pictures outside of Mumbai. The Lucasfilm said that they picked India because obviously the vibrant colors and the musical nature of everything there. The director was glad that their country of 1.3 billion people finally got to be a part of this franchise. You don't really see, you don't get any Indian representation in original Star Wars, so it was very, very fun to do that. The first thing they thought of when they had the option to do a story was Order 66, was the first thing that came to their mind. They wanted to do something around that. And they wanted to choose a time either between the sequels and the prequels, to when it was going to be airing, when it was going to be taking place. The creative director says that he's loved Star Wars since he was a kid in the 70s, like most people have. Mm-hmm. They wanted Charuk to have no stakes in the battle of good and evil at all. Like, he's like completely out of it. That's why the rebels are like shooting at him just as much as they're shooting at the troopers. They don't give a shit about him. And he's completely outside of that like dynamic. He only wants to protect his sister. The VA was also talking about how like he has a bunch of younger siblings, and so he was like, really felt for this role, having to leave a sibling behind and having to protect him during this crazy situation. It was very personal for them. They modeled the aesthetic after an American painter that painted a lot of Indian artwork and Indian settings and stuff like that. He was like a famous artist, and that's what the influence for their stuff was. The Jangori aesthetic was based on the Rajasthani state. I guess it's a state in India. That's like the very specific aesthetic that they based all the Jangori people, the rebels, after. The food was all like, besides just the lebi, the food was all very, very colorful, and they wanted because that's, India's famous for their crazy amounts of seasoned foods and beautiful looking, weird looking, crazy looking colors and stuff like that. So that's why they wanted to go with that for all the food aesthetic. The lebi obviously was based on a very real treat called jalebi. And it's like a weird crusted sugar thing. That's why whenever it looked like a lollipop, but they bit into it like it was like a cracker. It was just like,
yeah.
Whoa.
I thought that was just like a Star Warsy kind of thing, but no.
Yeah, no.
Based off of something actually something real. And I like how a lot of these episodes are based off of some realistic things. So anyway, as you were saying,
that's why I love this season, because all these short films that Ben, not episodes, these short films as they're referred to officially as, are all following actual real cultures, implementing Star Wars stuff. It's so fucking cool, and I love that so much. The jalebi, the music, there was a musician during the campfire scene who was playing a bunch of instruments. He was singing in probably some kind of alien version of the Indian language, but they said that was the favorite character that they designed because he had multiple arms. He was that Jedi who's a coiled snake that you don't see very often. I believe he's that race. I didn't look up the name of it.
I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, dude, that guy. I know he's just a background character, but just it's actually kind of funny because you're maybe I think it's an alien version of the Indian language, and I'm sitting here when I was first watching this episode, in the subtitles it says sings an alien language. I'm sitting here looking left and right. I'm like, isn't that just the Indian language?
No, I'm very speaking some kind of gibberish based on Indian.
But it still sounded really good.
Yeah, beautiful.
Honestly,
yeah, he's playing his crazy cool instruments.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny anything, but I will say this soundtrack was one of my few contenders for best soundtrack in one of these short films.
Yeah, I agree. The Inquisitor he didn't have a name or a brother title or whatever. He was based off of Vritra, which is an Indian Donova, a giant snake or dragon thing that's a show. Sometimes the green scaly form. He also had you could barely tell because he had a hood on the whole time, but he did have horns as well. And the specific mustache and the green skin coloring and everything, I was this has to be some kind of very specific. I've seen this aesthetic in Indian mythology monsters and stuff before, and that's why I really fucking loved his design. They wanted him to be underplayed and not showy or flashy like that. That's why he was very calm, sat down, pulled their chair closer to him with the force, and was very patient and normal talking. And they wanted him to be quietly intimidating when they succeeded in that 100%.
Oh, absolutely. At first when I saw this guy, I'm just huh, you look interesting for an Inquisitor. But then watching him just keep his cool, sit down, use the Force in very minimal ways that actually did show the intimidation factor. I'm just okay, I'm liking this. And the fight scene with him, he was absolutely ferocious.
Yeah. The outfit that he had on was the basic Inquisitor outfit, but then he had a bunch of really cool accoutrements from Indian culture on it as well. Mm-hmm. A bunch of change and patterns and stuff on it that made it look extra fucking cool. Rugal, the Jedi, was based on Kalbelias musicians. They always have very extravagant dresses, like the older Indian ladies with the very extravagant dresses. They're like that nose chain piercing thing. They're like crazy outfits, tons of jewelry. It's like a very matronly, cool, famous figure. And that's what she was based off of. You can really tell she had a very fun design. And they wanted an ending that the audience would be really thinking about, like really, controversial, because it's the whole Jedi taking kids from people thing, but it's like necessary and peaceful, but sad, and they're agreed upon. It's like, it's very interesting dynamic.
Indeed.
And, let's see. Oh yeah, and that's why the levy and the flute were so crucial, because like I don't know if you mentioned it at the end. I can't remember now because it's only been like a minute or two, but yeah, he on their partying after they do like the bandits ride for feast and plunder thing, he gives her some levy as she leaves, and then she leaves him the flute, and that's why they wanted those elements to be like crucial to the point and like make people really think about the ending, which I think is that worked very efficiently. I think
very this I'm sorry, you said this was called what? The studio?
88 Pictures.
88 Pictures, okay. 88 Pictures did a fantastic job with this one. I remember when I first watched like these years ago when it was like new. I didn't think really much about this episode, but giving it a rewatch, they did a lot of really good things here, and I liked this one. This one was a really good one.
Well, now we gotta go downer because now it's about the controversy of the episode.
We've been putting it off for a while, but you said it's recent as well.
Yeah, well, recent as in the like massively exploding Reddit post exposing what happened and what's going down with it. In 2019, there was a YouTube fan film called Dark Jedi. And like there was a fight sequence with this Jedi woman and this dark side user who like in a forest. It was like a short little fan film thing. But the fight sequence in this episode was 100% scene for scene, motion for motion lifted from this fan film for like the actual like like actual fight scene of this. So people have been like like I said, it was a Reddit post that's gotten like now like tens of thousands of views and tens of thousands of upvotes, like claiming that Disney is responsible for like stealing this fan film content, and then it's sparking a whole huge discussion of like them stealing content and stuff like that, and like oh they're ruining it, it's terrible. But like it was explicitly this studio, they did lift that animation explicitly from this. But then there's also the factor that one of the people in that fan film is a stunt person on the Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi, so they have some connection to Disney. But then the fact that it wasn't really Disney did that, it was explicitly this studio that stole this like animations, the fight sequence. And so there's been like a huge, giant, horrible thing going down now regarding that. But then it just goes into like the whole copyright laws in India, just like in China, are very different. That's why there's so many like hilarious bootleg stuff you'll see coming out of China and India. There's like they've different laws in terms of IP usage and stuff like that. So like, right, yeah. It also was a fan film on YouTube, so it's not really anybody's property. Also, it was a fan film based on Star Wars, which is a property owned by Disney. So it's like a very shitty thing for everybody. But yeah, like this short specifically, like literally I think a week or so ago only. This is when it came out. There's been huge articles about it, and like I said, it's been blowing up recently. Just like when we're doing this episode, ironically, it's a very funny coincidence, even though it came out like probably 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, that sucks. And then there was recently a huge Indian movie, Mahavatar Narsimha. It's this animated movie that just came out in India, I think, this year. But like they stole the fight sequence from God of War Ragnarok between I think Kratos and either Baldur or Kratos and Thor. Like literally like scene for scene, motion for motion in animation studio again lifted. I wanted to try to check and make sure it wasn't the same studio, but it wasn't. But yeah, like they like lifted for this major movie the fight sequence in God of War for their animation thing as well. So it just sucks that like this like formerly very fun thing, but also I was gonna say the aesthetic of this very much did especially remind me of Clone Wars more so than Rebels, if anything. Which is like, there's been always a huge controversy that the Rebels and not the Clone Wars like fight sequences, because of the 3D animation, does not work as well when like fight sequences and stuff like that. And I thought that the fight sequence was very quick and very like, just like a little bit awkward in the first place. But then finding out this thing kind of just like, dampened it a little. Like a little bit. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the fight sequence. I was a fan of the character designs and everything like that more so than anything. But this did affect my like ranking of the episode as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, and now knowing that, I mean, it might affect as well for me, but at the same time, I mean, they still did some good things. That is sad. That is unfortunate.
Like I said, the narrative was interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But like I said, everything around it, like I said, the Inquisitor is fucking a cool ass design. The story is very cute. The Lebby looked delicious.
It did. It really
going
did,
blem,
though.
Blem, blem. I was thinking like, I need to find somewhere near me that sells jalebi, the actual real dessert. Because it looks very weird. I'm curious.
It looks interesting, yeah. But, oh my goodness. Still, what a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
And
now let's take let's take that roller coaster and put it into a fucking slow cab.
How slow, Matt? We talking Los Angeles cab during rush hour or during rush hour New York City?
Probably Los Angeles, where we have miles and miles and miles to go.
For those of you who don't know, season 2, episode 8.
The Pit. By Dart Shitagio Studios and Lucasfilm.
So, I will say, it starts off with some pretty neat looking animation style. Like, it's a really good animation style.
Yeah. Opens up on a big old dust storm, and some prison laborers are being marched by stormtroopers. The commanding trooper, voiced by Stephen Bloom, has them stop in the middle of nowhere as he's like,
Come
he's like a little
on.
monitor begins to
No,
beep.
that isn't.
Oh, you know it is. Yes, it is.
Fucking hell, of course it is. So, as he stops them all, he motions his soldiers, the other troopers, to circle around them. And, in the most unga-bunga, ooga-booga way, presses a few buttons to undo their binds, and goes, dig!
Yeah.
And they all start digging. And it's a little standy. There's like a whole bunch of like transport ships and everything coming through with more prisoners, and they're just digging a big old hole. And as they're digging through with a whole bunch, like, we see, I don't know, the protagonist, I think, digging as well. And one guy gets like fucking like shocked because he's not working, and of course, back to work.
Oh yeah. The lead kid's name is Crux. He's a black human kid.
Crux. Yeah. And of course,
he rips his sleeve and makes a bandana out of it before the other guy next to him stops so he can get shocked for not being fast enough.
Well, for stopping work, yeah. And then, as all of this is happening, the most important character appears, the tiny little armadillo burrowy thingy.
Yeah, this is called a Quaqua in this series, but on another planet in another Star Wars series, it's called a Pusky. A Puxy.
I will say, really fucking adorable.
Yeah, very cute.
So anyway, Crux is doing some more digging and strikes something. And we see it is a kyber crystal.
Crux, it's Eureka who finds the kyber crystal, a woman.
Oh, sorry, Eureka. I am so sorry. This one, I'm going to be honest with you. This episode is quite a blur to me, and we kind of explained why at the beginning. Well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, she finds a crystal, and the commander comes and takes it. It is a kyber crystal. They say, like, oh, they found a kyber crystal. Then you see, okay, so keep digging, as he tells the rest of them. And he says, find more. We see like a time passing as we see the hole increasing in size, going further and further, deeper and deeper down. We see a city in the distance beginning to be built near the pit.
Yep. And then there's day and night, a long cycle, and all of a sudden, as we go through this montage of day and night and everything like that, someone hits something that's even harder than the kyber crystal.
Like, it's bedrock.
Yeah. That's what it is. Okay. He hits bedrock, and like his pick is very bent and everything. And all of a sudden, the commander's just like, "We've reached the end. We're finished.
We're finished here."
And everyone's like, "Yay!" All the prisoners are like, "Yay!" And all the stormtroopers are leaving, and everyone's like,
"Yeah."
All the cuffs fall off, and they're like, "Yay!" And then all the stormtroopers are leaving, and they're all like, "Yay!" And then all of a sudden it goes quiet, and they're all like, "Wait." Yep. They were all just left there to die.
Mm-hmm. Very, very funny. And then they all start panicking and trying to climb out, obviously, with they have no clue what the hell's going on. They're trying to climb up the dirt wall, but they're too steep and slippery and it's impossible. And they're they all kind of just sitting there in the ground, depressed, and there are rumors of a city nearby. Maybe we can get out. And Crux is just like, I'm gonna climb out here and I'm gonna go. Then an old man's just like, don't bother. There's no hope. You might as well stay here. It's too dangerous. And then we see Eureka is kind of also worried. Maybe the city won't even help. What if they try to get there and they won't even offer us any aid? Crux believes, I believe. You gotta believe in your inner light. He tells a little girl named Livy, who asks, what does he mean? He's like, well, inside of everybody, there's a light that, never goes out. It's all the hope that you have in the world. The next day, they see Crux beginning to climb out.
Well,
it's incredibly dangerous.
Well, first, this is important to the story, too. You see a random guy painting on a rock, but you don't see what's being painted on the rock. Then we see Crux trying to climb out, and the Dark Knight Rises extremely dangerous way, and as everyone's watching, oh my gosh, what is he doing? He's a fool. The little pangolin thingy is digging holes in very convenient way, convenient places, so that Crux actually gets out of the hole. And he's like, don't worry, I'll find help. There actually is a city in the distance. And everyone's just like, cool.
Yeah,
so we go into the city.
Yep, he goes into the city and begins asking people, if I can have a minute of your time, we need some help. There's a pit outside the city, we need your help. And everyone seems to just be ignoring him and walking by. When it begins to rain, Crux then finds a giant platform and jumps on top and stands on top of it, shouts to the crowd. And you gotta listen, there's a pit outside, there's children trapped inside along with adults. We're, put there to build the kyber that power the city. He's pointing to this city is has kyber crystals embedded in the design of it and shit, really making it much shine really brightly and stuff. He's like we need your help. There's there are people trapped in there, and everyone's kind of just what, is he serious? What's going on? As they he's like, this kyber runs your city and you need your help. And the troopers eventually find him and they just stun blast him. And then we see them dragging him back through the desert.
And as that's happening, they're all the citizens are like, wait, what's going on? Wait, what was that guy talking about? You're not telling me there's an actual bit. And of course the troopers are like, it's okay, people, move along, people. There's nothing to see here. And then
they drag him all the way back to the pit, and as he gets there, he's like, "What? No!" And then they toss him into the pit.
They literally toss him into this pit. And spoilers, kiddos, this is deep enough where it fucking kills him.
Oh yeah, the bit is very, very deep, and he is definitely fucking. And the next morning, Livy wakes up and sees a huge crowd of people crowding around something, and she goes in and she's like, "No, don't look," and it sees that it is actually Crux dead. The people say there's no hope, no one's gonna save us, he failed, he got killed, there's no hope. And then this is when Livy, in a fucking lamely cringy way, starts going, "Follow the light, follow the light."
Yeah, and she's like, "We gotta let him know we're here." And literally, okay, Matt.
Yeah.
Have you seen the CG movie of Horton Hears a Who?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, have you even read the story of Horton Hears the Who?
I know, I know Horton Hears the Who. Yeah.
They literally just do what the Who's do, and they're like yelling, they're chanting, like, follow the light, and all the stormtroopers are like, they're like chanting, what the hell do we do? And, as that happens, we see, like, from the city, we see a whole bunch of, like, lanterns being lit, as all of the citizens are walking over, like, hey, what's going on? The fucking commander guy is just like, you citizens, get out of here. You're not supposed to be
I'll
here.
say that. Yeah, fun thing though, in the citizenry of the city, we see a lot of Quarrens, which are the squid-headed people, Aqualish, which is Ponda Baba, the guy from the original movie, and Twi'leks. You see a bunch of really cool, standard, like, known alien races of Star Wars here. It's very fucking fun to see that. But yeah, the commander's like, go everybody back away.
And I like this, but I like this. I think this is stupid because he's like, get out of here, and all of the citizens are like, hey, we can hear people. We're not just gonna leave them by. And literally the commander's like, last warning, or we're gonna fire upon you. And all the citizens just walk past them, and the stormtrooper's like, sir, what do we do? And the commander's just like, move out. And this I'm like, you're an Imperial. You are an Imperial who is a commander. You're okay with throwing a kid into a deep pit so deep that it actually murders someone, but you're beneath. Oh, but shooting a bunch of
draw the line at shooting citizens. Yeah.
And so, like, the people on the bottom look up and they see all the lanterns, and they're like, oh my goodness, and then they all vanish, and they're like, oh no. And then all of a sudden we see more lights and we see like some transport ships starting to take them out of the pit and everything, and
we see tons of people getting the prisoners out and helping them. Yeah.
Yep, and then as all of them are being saved, the little girl who is like the whole follow the light thing is holding a kyber crystal, the one that Crux gave her, and it turns blue, and then the episode ends.
Yeah, and then of course. The post-credit scene.
Yep, where we finally get to see what that one rando guy was painting. And
the Aqua crawls out and sees it, a big giant mural of Crux, Levy, and the crystals.
Yep. And that's where the episode ends. And hey Matt, let's go through the thing that you always do with every episode.
Yeah, the filmmaker focus.
Yeah, let's just go straight to that.
Sure. I was gonna say, well, before that, just in general stuff. Favorite alien race from Star Wars, like of the major alien race. Because, like I said, like when I saw all those original guys in the crowd of the city, I was like, hey, finally some cool classic aliens. Haven't seen those since I'm Your Mother.
Yeah, right. Like there were quite a few of them, surprisingly enough.
So what? Don't say Twi'leks or anything basic. What's your favorite alien?
Don't say Twi'lek or anything basic. He said. Yeah, if I wanted to go basic, I would say humans. If I wanted to go really basic, I would say Wookiees. If I want to go even more basic than that, I will say Ewoks. But I'm gonna be real with you. The squid face guys were actually those ones. And what is the race from the one master? I think Master Plu from
Plo Koon?
Yeah, Plo Koon. You know how he has to wear that mask?
Yeah.
What race is that? Because that race is fucking cool, too.
Let's see. Plo Koon's race are the Keldor.
Keldor, that's what it was. Yeah, the Keldor are cool, and the one weird squid face guys in this episode.
Wait, you mean the Aki-Aki from the last episode with the Blem Blem and the Midian system, or you mean the Quarrens?
In this episode specifically, it was Quarrens, I believe you said.
Yeah, I also have a Quarren from
I do like the ones
game, the No Siree.
But yeah, what were they called? The Blem Blem?
Aki-Aki.
Yeah, Aki-Aki. I mean, heck, the Lovecraftian in me They're from Midian. They're literally Lovecraftian beings. But yeah, those would be my 3 favorite ones in no particular order.
Yeah, I would say I love a Doug like Sebulba. Fucking beautiful design.
Wait, what is he called?
A Doug.
As in a period Doug, like he is a singular Doug?
D-U-G. Doug is the race that Sebulba is.
Are you fucking serious? He looks so cool.
Yeah.
Why is he just called something so basic like that?
Well, because he's too cool to show up again. Yeah, Sebulba's race. The Geonosians, I fucking love.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one too. I agree.
If you want to hear me go on a huge rant about how CGI is better than practical effects, listen to the Fantastic Dinosaurs of the Movies special of Movie Garbage, where I go on and on about how I love all the alien designs in the prequel movies and how all the ones in the original and the sequel series being practical are limited and they can't be as cool as the likes of fucking Watto and Sebulba and Dexter Jetster and all those gangs. I fucking love those races.
But yeah,
now
those
also I was
really
gonna say
cool.
Yeah, they're really cool races. Again, the least related to the actual episode thing we've ever discussed, I think. Now, I will say, great concept. The fact of a prison pit, like, being dug by fucking, prison slaves and to, like, mine kyber crystals, incredibly cool concept. Execution, on the other hand, left a lot to be desired. Lord.
Like, okay, so, the concept, like you said, I like that. Yeah. I like the concept because there was so much potential going on. The art style, this studio's art style is actually pretty fucking baller. Not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. I liked it. It looked familiar to other things that I've seen. I can't place my finger on it though, but the execution and it becoming a very randomly preachy and had no moral whatsoever kind of story, and just wow, the execution of this was so muddy, dude. And
yeah,
I have to do a mini rant now because my god. In the fucking Star Wars movies, all 9 of them, stormtroopers are kind of inept. They've shown it throughout. These ones were worse than the movie ones because the Stephen Bloom guy. Stephen Bloom's an amazing voice actor, just so any of you know. I do not doubt his skill. But all he did was bark like unga bunga single word / single like 3 to 4 word sentence commands.
Yeah.
And the moment he could have done the most imperial thing ever, shoot a bunch of innocent people, and he didn't. He fucking tucked tail and ran away.
Yeah, very dumb. I'll say no spoilers for Andor, but this situation would have turned out. It turns out much more differently in that show when citizens are trying to stand up to the Empire. It's like, no, we're not going to deal with that shit.
Right?
It's much worse.
I don't even know Andor. I haven't even watched Andor, but even I can take a hint from what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, just there was so much potential. First time watching it, this time watching it, it really missed the mark.
Yeah, I agree. And that may have something to do with the studio being oversought by Lucasfilm. The studio itself, let's see. Oh yeah, it's a weird Japanese name. The studio D'Art Shitagio. This one was actually directed. The director was a producer for Lucasfilm before it started. This studio is like a black-owned studio, but out of Japan. explicitly. So
Okay.
it's like a black animation studio that works out of Japan, but they, like I said, explicitly this is the only one that was oversought by Lucasfilm as well, which is probably why it sucks. The original idea was pitched back in 2020, mid-pandemic. The like isolation and all that was kind of an influence for what they were doing story-wise. The work, they were talking about how like they wanted to really emphasize the workers were sinking lower and lower while the city outside was rising higher and higher, just kind of like a little metaphor of like the people doing well from the people, other people suffering. The director talked about they were like shopping the idea around to a bunch of different producers at Lucasfilm, but then they actually had to get approval from the animation head, and then they had to go through Dave Filoni, everyone's second favorite punching bag, and then of course Kathleen Kennedy, who was the head of Star Wars, the number one favorite punching bag for Star Wars haters. So like all the people at Lucasfilm had this script and every idea had to go through, which is probably why it ended up so fucking boring, unfortunately, compared to everything else. They wanted to do this like a little mini movie, and that's why it ended up with Visions. Let's see. They said that like the idea, like I said, it's a what was he saying, Ben?
Oh, I was gonna say, wait a second. So you're saying that they had an original concept, but a bunch of people fucked it up and made it so muddied that it just became what it was now?
Yeah, pretty much.
God damn it! Don't if you're gonna have you're gonna have give full creative vision to the studio, don't fuck it up by touching it. Let them do it, because that's the whole point of Visions.
Yeah, literally all other 8 episodes of this arc, they like every single studio during the Filmmaker Focus talks about how Lucasfilm let us do whatever we wanted. Lucasfilm just said like, hey, why don't you do something that's based off your culture, and we did whatever we wanted. And then this one studio specifically, this one black-owned studio that works out of Tokyo, they were like, well, you got to go through 7 producers, and what if you take that out? What if you take this out? What if you add this in? What if you add that in? Fucking, and then you end up with fucking brown flavorless slop. So
Lucasfilm.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but what the fuck, man? All right,
yeah,
continue
it's
on.
obvious that it sucks. They wanted this one to be right in the middle of Western and Eastern differences, since it's between Vision Season 1 and Vision Season 2. It was all hand drawn, like old school anime. That's probably why you saw the art style was so like specific and actually like good. But yeah, it was explicitly like based off of hand drawn old school anime. There is a lot of echo and reverb in the sound at the bottom of the pit. So like everything recorded at that bottom part, you hear a lot of like echo because obviously they're trapped. And then when Crux gets out, it's a lot more clearer. And it was like a specific sound design choice. And then the actual actors. Crux was voiced by Daveed Diggs, who, if you know Hamilton, he plays Thomas Jefferson and I think Lafayette. He's also a huge actor. He's great. And then the voice of Eureka, Anika Nani Rose, she voiced Tiana in Princess and the Frog. And also I recently found out that she was the black friend in From Justin to Kelly. That's a little shout out to How Did This Get Made fans, and if Ed ever listens to it, he'll get a kick out of that little gag. But yeah, she's another black actress who we know. Stephen Bloom, obviously, who's voiced like 1,000 troopers in Rebels alone.
Right.
Or the same guy who pops up everywhere very hilariously. That'd be very funny. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then they said they wanted the Follow the Light chant. Like she had a bunch of the actors in the rooms together doing that bit, which I think was, cringy and lame and boring. That's pretty much it. There was not much. Obviously, there wasn't very much interesting in this arc. I wish that this studio had more freedom, and I wish like everyone else did, to just like whatever their original idea. I bet it was probably a lot darker and a lot like more crazy. And like Lucasfilm was like, we're putting our names on this one since like, we're gonna fucking so heavy-handedly do shit to it that it's gonna be much more boring, which sucks.
I mean, dude, okay. The previous episode, right?
Yeah.
We had a guy get literally his throat cut on screen.
Yeah, by an Indian musician woman, older woman, cool ass design.
So why? You know what?
Like I said, it's the only one that has Lucasfilm on it along with the actual art studio.
Because I tried, by the way, when I did the rewatch, I tried to like this episode.
Same. When I originally watched it, I thought it sucked.
And now knowing this, and now knowing this information, I wish I could like this episode. But knowing that LucasArts fucking destroyed it, like they did with the sequel series.
No, hey. Rise of Skywalker is very fun.
Anyway, sorry, we could go on a rant for this for a while, but
yeah. Well,
as
listen to any of those grifter Star Wars YouTube channels that are just spouting shitty hate speech all the time. Kathleen Kennedy broke into my house and killed my dogs and stole all my food and just. Yeah, she ruined this good thing. Or that, I don't know if it was her explicitly or the studio, or we don't know what the original idea was. We don't know what the actual producers put their hands on. But like I said, no spoilers for rankings, but yeesh. And this is the only one with Lucasfilm's name on it. So
yeah,
you put two together.
I'm sorry, that first one you said yeesh.
Yeah.
yeah, very yeesh. But now, Matt, we're winding down to the finish, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. And the last bit of fun timing for this November recording. You ready to get to the last episode of this?
Yes, I am.
All right, we are going Vision Season 2, Episode 9. Our Song. By Triggerfish Studio out of South Africa.
Oh, really? Okay. We start off with the Star Wars kind of starry background, and we get some text about how there's a world because this takes place on a planet called Korba, where it was once rich with force-attuned kyber crystals that tells you that they used lightsabers and that they're part of the power of lightsabers and everything like that. And however, throughout time, the Sith have poisoned this all of these kyber crystals. So now they're corrupted. They're bled. They're bled. They're now bled kyber crystals. And Korba's people learn how to mine these corrupt kyber for any Jedi who through a very, very, very harsh effort could restore them back to their original state, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And thus we get to see this beautiful, I want to say this is stop motion, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's, based on, puppet design, kind of. I don't think it's really stop motion. I think it, just like Into the Stars, it's, I think technically CGI, but it's, based on and using the aesthetic of, puppet animation and, actual stop motion stuff. It's very fucking beautiful. It's everything looks like it's made of, felt cloth and, real, puppet fabric almost.
Right, yeah. But still, we see this beautiful mountainous landscape, and we see a, do we know what race this is?
Yeah, Corbin. The planet's called Korba.
Look, I didn't want to just assume that it was called a Corbin.
These cute little green lions.
Yeah, and we just see one young girl just hanging from a rope trying to pick some flowers, and she climbs up, and we get the title card, Our Song, and this being Ao. So she climbs up the rope.
She's a cute little green cat girl with some big thick dreads looking hair.
Mm-hmm. And I think, is she also wearing a bandana?
Yeah, she's wearing a bandana and her hair's pulled back.
And she looks out and she sees a sunset, right? And it's all beautiful. It's all visually amazing. And she starts singing. Vocalizing.
Beautiful song, beautiful vocalizations. And as she does that, we see a craft approaching, and she begins to climb down the mountain to get back to her home. At her house, we see her father, Abbott, asking if she saw Kratu's ship approaching. Au and Abba begin to like eat their food. They're like eating some kind of chunky soup. they're like chewing very adorably. This whole art style is too damn cute. It's like
it really is. It's so adorable.
They're doing like little like cute little cat chews. It's fucking insanely cute.
Yep. And then
they're eating their weird chunky soup, and then like he tells Au to like, okay, keep your distance from the travelers, since you know they're outsiders. You can't trust them too much. She sneaks back as she's like listening in, and she peeks through the window. And this is when we see her dad giving Kratu a Kyber shard. He's presenting it to her. We see that it is red. And as Kratu thinks like, okay, this one might be, too old to purify just yet. This might be a little bit difficult for me to try to fix this for the Jedi. The Kyber begins to call to Au, and she begins to sing once again. It's kind of like hypnotizing her. But they see her, and she like accidentally begins to fall out of the window. Abed, like, he's holding the crystal out, and then suddenly it starts like burning his hand, and he's like, he tries to like puts it back into the case and saying, "I'm so sorry." Kratu, he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Kratu." And he turns to her, and she's already outside talking to his daughter. Kratu is very, very kind. She's like this purple-skinned humanoid-looking race. She is very kind to Au, but she is like, as they're talking, like, Au sees like a weird spark and hears inside of Kratu's mind. Like, you can hear inside my mind. Like, they're actually communicating somehow psychically. Very, very cool. Abbot arrives and gives her the Kyber crystal in the little container. And Kratu thanks him and says that she'll be in town for a while if they ever decide to seek her out. As she leaves, Abbot chastises Au for her singing near the Kyber crystal and says, "You know how dangerous it is," as he shows her the burn on his hand from her singing near it. He says, "Hey, I must stay around to protect you. It's too dangerous around here, and you're going to get yourself hurt the way you behave." As they load onto a bike and begin to drive through the mountains to get to their main mine, Spire 17, for work. They're like, going to the pub, we see a quick little shot of a Mandalorian, and this outpost is very, very fun, very cute art style of Mandalorian.
Wait a minute. wait a minute. You talking about like the weird guy in like the tin outfit?
Yeah, there's actually a Mandalorian in the crowd in Spire 17.
Wait, was there is that a Mandalorian?
Yeah. Go back and watch it again.
It was hard. Cool. It's hard to tell.
There's a bunch of different people, but yeah.
He looks like... It's hard to tell because you only get like a profile, and you can only see like one side. I thought that was like a droid or something.
Nope.
Well, as you're seeing that, Abbot, looks at Au and is like, "All right, I'm going to go to the mines now. You have a good day at work, Au." And you find out that she works in like a stable for what are these things?
They didn't really have a name for them, just some kind of... They named the thing she creeps off of it more than the actual alien.
But this is like this big purple...
Yeah, some kind of labor beast, beast of burden.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some kind of cow monster, I don't know.
But either way, so Au, she brushes them and everything, and you find out that one of the things she's got to do is take off these really big, like, stone-looking louses?
Yeah, a wood louse bug.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a wood louse.
And yes,
rock.
and before you ask, viewers, yes, the wood louse is absolutely adorable.
The cutest thing. Everything's cute in this whole thing.
It's true. Like Au plucks it off, and all of a sudden you see the bottom. You see 2 eyeballs and like 8 legs just sticking out, and it's like wiggling and making little squeaky noises. And it's like, why? You are a louse. Why are you cute?
Yeah, it scurries off under a rock.
It just scurries around, and Au is pretty bored. And as she looks off in the distance at that same mountain area that she saw at the beginning, she hears like some kind of like whispery, kind of singy, like she hears like whispery voices, and well, she decides to go towards it, and it takes her to the mines.
Yep, she's walking down the mountain path as she sees it, and when she approaches, she sees her father and his partner at the tunnel entrance. She then hears like calling from a smaller side entrance, and she begins to slide down the cave, or slide down like the hill to get into the cave. But she once again covers her mouth because she's about to yell, make noise when she's falling. The dad's partner looks over and says like, "Yeah, it's probably just some rock mice."
Yeah, they're just pesky rock mice.
Yeah.
And as she's looking for this entrance, she sees a whole bunch of more wood lice, crawling into a little entrance, just big enough for her to fit in, actually. And she just looks around, and it's dark. There's like a few. It's a tunnel, and it's like a pretty steep tunnel. And when she gets to the bottom of the tunnel, there's a whole lot of red, glowing Kyber, and they're all like whispering, and they're all like just it's as if the Kyber themselves have seen her and are like kind of like a crowd of people like whispering like, hey, what's going on, kind of thing like that, only you can't really discern what they're saying. And as I was looking, mesmerized again like before, she starts to harmonize, she starts to vocalize, and it's as if the voices start to calm. And you notice that a bunch of the red Kyber starts changing. They start turning back to blue. But as she's doing this, Abba is just like, "Ow! What are you doing here?" She stops, and all of the Kyber start going like haywire, like when she stopped when Abbott was holding the Kyber, and all of the voices,
and like the scene, turns into like shrieking.
Yeah, like shrieking and like anger, angry voices, and of course everything is unstable. There's like a bunch of, if I remember, it's like it starts cracking, like the mountain starts cracking.
Yeah, actually starts collapsing a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like an escape. There's like an escapes. There's a whole like escape scene going on, and
he uses his harness to grab and save her from that. As they exit, the spire begins to collapse. The bridge that they crossed from before with Abbott on it, like the partner gets across, Abbott's like climbing, and then it like collapses just as Ao gets to the other side. Ao is like clinging onto the ropes to try to save her father, but she's unable to, and he begins to fall, along with her falling as well. But then, just last second, Kratu uses the Force to save them both, and she uses her saber as to scale down the side of the wall in a very fucking cool sequence. She holds off the falling rocks as they continue to collapse onto them. She's using the Force just as a shield to try to block. But Abed's like, I can get up. Then he can't stand up. So Au takes off her little scarf hood and begins to sing to aid Kratu in using the Force to save them both.
Well, sorry, very minor thing, we'll go into more detail later. Just want to point out also, as she's taking off her little scarf thing, first time we get a line from her at all. Because she tells, she's like, it's okay, Abbott. And first time she says anything. And then, actually, we get some vocalization going on. And just as she's singing, the dad and Kratu are both watching this, and everything calms down, and her voice, Ao's song is so powerful. You actually get to see an X-ray kind of internal of the entire mountain that they're on, even the bridge that they're connected to. Every single Kyber turns blue and is purified.
Oh, and not just blue. They actually are turning blue, green, and purple. Yeah,
they're all becoming purified. And Kratu opens up the one that she took from Abed, and it is blue. And she's like, "Wait, she just purified all of them." She is amazed by this, and apparently, her throughout all of her travel, all of Kratu's travels, she has never seen anything like this before. And she's like, "Oh, this is a wonderful gift, and I can help you nurture it, but you'll have to you'll have to join me. You'll have to come with me, so that I can help you with this. And you know, I
Abed
can't
is
make
unsure because Ao's life is here. He's like, yeah, he's kind of concerned and like, well, she's like, I'll be here for another fortnight, so you have that time to decide if you want to come with me or not. So they like, take some time to think about it. We do see the family sitting on the edge of the cliff again, eating. I
some kind of berry or something.
Yeah, it's a kind of like pear-looking fruit, weird-looking thing. Looks very cute. Again, chomping very cutely.
Yum, yum, yum.
Little yum, 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 yum.
And of course, Abba is like,
her,
"Hey,
yeah, if she's ready.
Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready for this?" And Ao's like, "I am." And we just see him and her get up, and we see Kratu's ship not too far from here, and he's like, I'll miss you. I'll miss you so much. I'll miss you, Abi." And she just runs, and Abed just watches his daughter and Kratu just fly away in the starship, as we see like a lot more Kyber, more crystalline, more clear, just sitting up on the mountainside. And that's where this ends.
Yep, and over the credits, we hear more of Ao's singing over the actual credit sequence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Very, very beautiful ending. I forgot to mention earlier with the I Am Your Mother, but with Ao's song and I Am Your Mother, these were both actually adapted into comics by Lucasfilm after the episodes came out. So you can actually buy I Am Your Mother and Ao's song in an actual physical comic form if you want to. And that's a very cool, because it's such a beautiful ass fucking, animation things. God, I loved the design of these little cat people. So cute.
They're just so goddamn adorable.
Cute. Yeah, their little chewing noises and their big giant purple eyes and their little like puppet felt skin. They're fucking too cute. They're way too damn adorable.
They are. So before we go any further with raving and ranting and like just going all ham about this episode, what's the behind the scenes about this creator, about this studio?
Yep, Triggerfish, like I said, out of South Africa. The two directors were a young man and a young woman. The female director is an actual singer, and she did contribute to the vocals for the Kyber crystals and everything like that. They are based out of Cape Town, and Cape Town's right under a huge. I don't know if it's Kilimanjaro or another huge mountain in Africa, but like Cape Town is located right next to like a massive mountain, and that's what their influence for that was. The studio itself is actually like part farm / barnyard, and they have like all these animals and like infrastructure around. It's very fucking cool. There was a very, very tiny crew of people working on this one, surprisingly, and the director did a lot of the visual the visual effects references, like the mocap and stuff would be. She did a lot of those herself, which is very fucking cool. They used local actors for the lead roles, and also they used, it was Ubuntu culture was the inspiration for the aesthetic of the Corbins. And this is what I wanted to mention: the voice of Kratu. Once again, relevant to our time of recording in November, Cynthia Erivo, who plays Elphaba in Wicked, she actually voiced Kratu.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the actress playing Elphaba voiced Kratu for this bit.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
I don't know if she is. I don't know if she's actually native African or not, or from Cape Town possibly, but I'm not sure. But yeah, she's incredible in this. Let's see, where is she from? Oh yeah, she's out of Africa, I believe. English actress. No, she's from London, but damn, I guess her parents are from Africa. Her actual full name is fucking incredibly long and very obviously African. So I'm assuming it's her family's, Nigerian family, Nigerian immigrants. Yeah, so yeah, she's absolutely fantastic as Kratu, a minor character, but and also spoilers, like I was talking about before we recorded. I just watched Wicked for Good. She's amazing in that as well. the female director has a cousin who is actually a shaman in Africa, which is very fucking cool. And it said that Kratu's aesthetic and personality was based off of that character, which is fucking dope.
So, like, based off of, like, a legitimate shaman?
Yeah, a legitimate African shaman was the inspiration for Kratu.
That's really good.
Cool. Yeah, Spire 17 was based off of Chapman's Peak. The detail on the flares and the fauna and everything like that was all based on that specific Chapman's Peak mountain range. The male director had a style locked after one sketch. Like, he did sketches for all the actual artwork for this. They said a bunch of puppets were built with felt and leather and later rendered in CG for the movement. So yeah, they did actually make physical puppets for this out of felt and leather, and they were rendered in CGI afterwards. The soundscape, the soundscape was meant to be light and fun. They actually used a 50-year-old synthesizer for the actual music, which is fucking cool, leading to the fun aesthetic of this thing. Cool. Yeah. They also had the Cape Town Youth Choir record in an actual cave for the actual crystals. They fucking so much effort for this tiny studio, this tiny barnyard studio, for the fucking cutest, one of the most fun fucking things in this whole bit. They wanted to show the connection between the people and spirituality of their country. The willingness to heal, and that's what was the inspiration for all of this. They said that her voice is a multi-dimensional bridge between her world and the land itself, which is that's how her aspect of the Force is. Her voice is able to do that, which I guess is kind of the opposite of the Shrieker from Screech's Reach, because she also used the Force her voice to access the Force, but it was the dark side and crazy screaming.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Force scream versus Force sing.
Yeah. Bulgarian choir did the music. They wanted a mix of sorrow and joy for the actual musical scores of it. They wanted the ending to be a choice between freedom and responsibility. That was the final decision. She wanted to either remain with her house or wanted to go in the stars and explore with this person to become a better, Force user. And they also wanted this film to inspire kids to use their voices, sing and perform and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, very, very, very fun filmmaker focus. Probably my favorite of those little behind the scenes things. An absolutely amazing episode. After,
oh my God,
after
absolutely.
Fucking the pit.
and you kind of jumped ahead a little bit, because I was gonna say no. Not saying it because of the previous episode, but this episode was gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Hey Matt.
Yeah.
That was episode 9, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was episode 9.
You know what time it is then?
Award season. It's award season.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And thanks to Matt resending this list, because my computer decided to mess up. Let's just go down to the list, shall we? So, the first one that you have on this list is Best Musical Score.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know this is your show, but I'm curious as to what your Best Musical Score was.
All right. Well, it was a tie between two of them, but I didn't want this to be a full sweep, and the actual naming of the specific country's instruments tipped it over for me. The music is going to go to In the Stars for me. The Latin American instruments, the Andean, the charangos, the zapaños, quiñas, cuenchos. These are all native South American, Chilean instruments that were used in the actual music, and going back and listening to it, a lot of the music really did stick with me for the entirety of the fucking beautiful soundtrack, and also a number of really cool, unique instruments actually native to their actual culture, and they're actually it's I love the soundtrack of that one. Very fucking beautiful.
And I have to admit, that one is a beautiful one too. My two, however, that was not one of the two that I was kind of kind of thinking about, because I really don't, and like I said, That one was a really good soundtrack. I did like the the authenticness of the instruments and everything like that. Um, However, for me, it was a toss up between two different ones. Well, one that's not in the stars. My vote has to actually go to Ao Song. Not only was it just beautifully done, like it actually set the setting and everything like that, but I mean, come on. The whole antithesis of it was music. That was the whole point of it as well. And I liked it's hard for me to describe in words exactly. I'm not as good as Matt because I don't like dig deeply like I do. But
well, so you say you voted that one even without knowing the Cape Town Youth Choir recording in an actual cave. So
well, there is that too. That is a perk. But there's just something about that episode, Ao Song's musical score, that just kept me engaged, and it had a bit of wonder and whimsy to it, in a sense.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. I love the musicals. The music was all based in like actual context of the actual story, and it was actually beautiful. The crystals singing, and then doing their dramatic, painful screw singing was fucking cool as hell.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All of these beautiful music. Like beats and songs and tones that were like in my head for like days after. All great.
Indeed. I'll at least start the next one, but the next award for best fight scene, I am a biased prick. It has to go to the fucking Spy Dancer. Had the best fight sequence ever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that scene where all the stormtroopers are trying to like shoot at her, and she's doing all of those moves. I loved that. And again, it's ambiguous. Did she use the Force? Didn't she use the Force? Doesn't matter. Sorry, words and stuff. But the people who did that mini movie or whatever it was called, they did a
short film.
Thank you, short film. I want to make sure I get that right.
Mini movie.
Short film. It's the same mini movie, short film. But the studio that did the short film, they did a gorgeous job with that fight scene in particular, and that's the one that stuck out so well. And I will say, I will give a close second to a very close second, by the way. Like, we're talking like, if this was a numbered vote, it was by one vote that Spy Dancer won, because I really, really enjoyed the fight scene in the cave in Screecher's Reach.
Oh yeah, very beautiful.
That one was really good, because but my vote actually goes to the Spy Dancer.
Yeah, I will say that studio's no stranger to fucking sick ass fight scenes with Primal under their belt.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
So I will say my best fight sequence, honestly, is gonna be like a surprise answer. Annie and Kalina Kalfis versus Julan and Dorota Van Riepel in I Am Your Mother.
You know what? I see it, actually.
Yeah, the actual, the fighting against the Wookiee baby driving their ship and crashing into the other people, and then the actual mini Death Star beam that the Van Riepels had that shot at Kalina's family, and then the actual Ryloth role, which is a nice little deep cut to the home world of the Twi'leks, which was taken over by the Empire, using that to actually defeat them. And then the final end sequence, when they're actually bumping neck and neck, and they crash due to the Ryloth roll, and they fumble literally inches away from the finish line. The Van Riepels lose. I fucking love that sequence so fucking much. It was so fucking cute and funny.
You know what?
And
yeah,
it was just,
I see it.
And another studio that's no stranger to fight sequences between Chicken Run and all the Wallace and Gromit shenanigans. They know how to do a very, very funny fight sequence.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I see it, dude. And you know what? Yeah, once again, you turned it on its head. You're like, fight scene. Didn't think about the racing now, did you, Ben?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that
mini Death Star was the funniest thing ever.
That's a good one. But now, here's a difficult one.
Yeah.
What is your worst art style?
Honestly, I had this on here before the controversy, but it would have to be Bandits of Golak. Because despite the aesthetics being interesting, the actual animation of it was, like I said, like the very clunky and not very innovative to me personally Clone Wars style. Like, it literally looked like it couldn't straight have been an episode of any season of the Clone Wars just without any of the named Jedi in it. It was very the fight sequence before knowing the fight sequence was stolen, it was still very already stiff that the Clone Wars had throughout the entirety of the animation style. And so there wasn't that much going on, and the aesthetic was a little bit better than most with all the Indian accoutrements on some characters, but for the most part, the very flat, very uninspired Clone Wars aesthetic really dragged it down for me.
Wow, listeners, you might want to mark this momentous occasion, because for the first time in a very long time, Matt and I agree on something.
Nice.
I literally, not necessarily word for word, but a lot of your high points. Honestly, the Bandits of Golak really just seemed like another Clone Wars episode. Don't get me wrong. Clone Wars did have some good CG animation. I'm not saying that it was bad, but for a different studio to pretty much replicate that almost to a T exact art style, it just some of the character designs were good, and again, we could talk about that Inquisitor for days, but it was just unenthused in my opinion.
Very lackluster art style.
Now, for best art style, it's no mystery that mine is Screecher's Reach. I know.
Oh, nice.
I know Cartoon Saloon. I've watched the Irish mythology. Well, I've seen 2 of the 3. I still have to watch Wolfwalkers, but I adore their art style. I adore everything they do with their characters, their backdrops, all the scenery and everything. I adore their art style to a T.
Yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful style. It's different. My favorite animation choice is going to be different, though.
That's fine.
I had to go with Ao's song.
Aha!
Those fucking little fucking cat puppets were too fucking cute. I could not get enough of them. I would love to see a more realistic rendition of their art style, or less realistic rendition of their art style. Like, what would they look like in a normal Star Wars context? The green lions with big purple eyes doing the little yum 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 chewing.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Little faces.
I see it, because again, our song was such a good episode, and that art style was absolutely adorable. I loved it so much.
Yeah, it was very, very cute, but like I said, everything feeling so explicitly felt and leather, actual physical puppetry, and then rendered in CGI. It looked still so authentic that it was everything in that world. I would love to see. We didn't even talk about the actual expanding on the plot or not. I would love to see more animation in that fucking style. I would kill for that. It just wasn't so tiny. I feel like Lucasfilm giving them $1 billion. And let them do a fucking couple of more, at least 2 or 3 more episodes of Ao's song in that adorable style following that plot. It'd be fucking adorable.
You actually did remind me of something before we go any further with the awards, right?
Yeah.
Ao's song. Should it be a one-off? Should it be a series? Should it be a movie?
I would say I would love a miniseries of that.
Same! Oh my god, please,
so
same.
Cute.
Like Matt, again, Screecher's Reach is my favorite art style. But my god, Lucasfilms, Disney, give the studio for Ao's song, give him, like Matt said, give him $1 billion and just give them a good budget and let them go. Because seriously, just, oh my gosh, please.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, Matt.
Yep.
Worst plot/writing.
This is going to have to go to Journey to the Head, Dark Head.
Wow, a little bit of surprise, but yeah, please.
Yeah,
elaborate.
no, well, I mean the other choice is a little bit boring, But I thought Journey to the Dark Head's story was stupid. I thought that the monk girl's plan didn't make any fucking sense. What the fuck is cutting a statue's head? Like literally all the Jedi were like, that's a dumbass plan. the one Jedi was just like, sure, why not? We'll send a fucking kid with you to go figure it out. Everything with again, too many humans as the protags. The main girl's plan was weird and dumb. She literally didn't need the Jedi at all because the Sith followed them because he was there. So she would have gone there, blown up the head or not, saw the clouds reveal that, what her plan is really stupid, and then nothing would have happened. I forgot to write down the kid's name. The fucking main kid, boring guy.
But main kid,
his story,
boring guy.
yeah, his story was like lame. Him, the dark side user voiced by Daniel Day Kim. That dude was an awesome ass aesthetic. His scorpion tail lightsaber was very funny and weird, but like it was just like his plotline didn't make any sense. That guy just followed him there to kill him or to get him to join him. It wasn't fucking clear. Just like in Rise of Skywalker, where we were arguing like, you said Palpatine said kill the girl, and I was like, no, what the fuck? His plan requires her to be alive. That doesn't make any fucking sense. So yeah, very much like that. The plot was very dumb. I thought the Journey to the Dark Head was literally in context of the actual narrative, it was a waste of time, and they were only in any danger because of boring kid was there. So I think that was the worst plot. It was very dumb. It was like bad anime plot to me. That was like a bad anime plot. It was very dumb.
So for me, just like with the fight sequence, it was like by a single vote, because it was tied for a long time. It was tied, and honestly, I have to agree with you on this one again, Matt. This is a second time we agree. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The pit was unfortunately bland, and it was very one note. But yeah, Journey to the Dark Head, it tried to do so much. Unlike with the pit, where it kind of just got butchered to the point where there was not enough happening, Journey to the Dark Head tried so many things at the same time, and it just did not work. All of the marks, where the pit tried to hit one concept and they missed the mark, Journey to the Dark Head tried to hit multiple targets and constantly missed the mark. The characters were bland. I mean, the villain was kind of cool, I guess. He was cool until he took the helmet off. Innovation with the weapon, gotta say.
Yeah.
But yeah, until the helmet came off. But like, all the characters were bland. Pretty much I can just be singing the same song Matt said. But now,
yeah, uplift our spirits.
Yes, the best plot / writing. Now this one for me was difficult because sure, we had the pit and Journey to the Dark Head, but we had quite a few good ones actually.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, my favorite plot of this entire thing. Like honestly, like even here, I'm like thinking, second guessing a lot of things. I have to give a second award to Ao's song. It sets up the story because it gives you some text. It sets everything up that you need to know about the planet that you're on, right? It executes everything so beautifully. And, there's a little bit of static between Ao and her dad. But with the hey, you got to be careful with your voice. You're going to hurt people with it. But it just, in the short amount of time that they had with this short film, they did a fantastic job. There were no loose ends that needed tied up. There was no confusion whatsoever. Everything was to the point, very easy to understand, and okay, we've sang this song a few times, but I'm gonna say the fucking characters are adorable.
Yeah.
Everything, even the fucking woodlouse is fucking adorable.
Yeah.
But just like everything about this episode, from a writing / plot standpoint, mind you, absolutely hit all of the marks completely. What about you, Matt?
Well, for mine, I'm gonna have to probably go with the one that was like just missed the top mark for you, because my best plot is going to go to Screecher's Reach.
Excellent.
Because god damn,
yeah,
that is tough to fucking beat. Like that is like what I want from every Star Wars thing. Like the everything about it, the aesthetic, the dourness, the fucking beautifulness of it. It was just, and then the ending. This is what I want every Star Wars thing to be. like forget the fucking space battles, forget the fucking Jedi. I want a person falling to the dark side just due to life circumstances and it being so tempting and like, good seeming, and like just ending on that note. It was such an amazing fucking, everything was amazing about that. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and by the way, yes, you're absolutely correct. Again, by a little thread. But yeah, just like, I'm with you on that one too. Everything you said makes sense, and everything you said also, is absolutely correct.
Yeah, I'm like, for all of our a movie or a show or leave it. I was like pounding on the table like, I want more at the end of fucking that one, because that was fucking great. I loved every second of that. That was an amazing. Screecher's Reach was fucking incredible, and I would love to have more of that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But now, I think this one's gonna be the easiest one for both of us.
Well, yeah, probably yes.
yeah, because Best Droid looks at all of the episodes, looks at how few and far in between. E2 from Sith.
E2.
Yeah,
E2.
E2.
Yep. Just like,
he's the best.
Yeah, no.
He is absolutely the best. He did the most. I mean, there is a runner-up, Matt. Points at the one droid from Spy Dancer.
Yeah, the KX unit. Yeah, I was gonna say, that was my second choice. Yes.
Yeah, but like E2 from Sith, absolutely phenomenal. Sure, it's another ball droid. You could just say it's just a BB-88, and no. This one had legs. This one had more personality. This one actually tried its damnedest to fight, and he is a war veteran. He got hurt in the line of duty, and then he actually got repaired.
Yeah, he got fucking legs ripped off in a fucking crazy ass action sequence, and also he has a little, just like my favorite fight scene with the Van Riepels, he has like a little pseudo mini Death Star beam on him. He's fucking cool as hell. Mm-hmm. He took out an assassin droid or a fucking bounty hunter droid easily. He's crazy good.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, E2 rules.
Yeah, E2's the best. Now, Matt.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to be tied on this one too.
Well, it depends. Worst villain. Who are you going to say?
All I got to say is, go dig that pit.
Thank you.
It is,
holy shit, we both agreed on something. Again, no discredit to Steve Bloom. He does an amazing job with every role he does. But, he was the most...
I met the man and my sister got an autograph from him. He's a great dude.
But the way I have to describe him, he is, of all the stormtroopers... He is the most unga bunga ooga booga.
Yeah.
Just what the crap, dude. Now that pretty much another E2 thing where that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah, that's all that needs to be said. Next thing.
Now, best villain. This one was tough for me because there's some really good ones. Sure, there's some weaker ones, and there are some. Points at O's song that pretty much don't have an antagonist.
Yeah, kyber crystals, I guess. I don't know. That makes sense.
Yeah, so there was not really a villain. I honestly had to give it. I can't believe I'm because this one was tough because I love Inquisitors a lot, right?
Yeah.
But I have to give it to the Sith from the Sith. What was his name? He said he had a name in the first episode.
He did have a name, yes. Master Kutu. I have to go to my old notes for the first episode.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Lord Kutu. I believe.
Yeah, Lord Kutu. Yeah. He was again. Not to disrespect the Inquisitor from Bandits of Golak, but Kutu was way more intimidating. He was absolutely vicious to begin with, like a Sith usually is. And just the fact that he had a past with the main protagonist, absolutely, just they did him well. And it helps that the art style, coupled with like the fight sequences and everything like that, definitely showed him off to a beautiful degree. I liked him as a villain far better than any of the other villains.
Yeah, he was fantastic. I'll have to go with your secondary choice, though, because I refer to him as Inquisitor Vritra, the Indian deva that he's based off of. But yeah, the Inquisitor, fucking awesome. I loved his design. He literally, like I said, straight out of a demon straight out of Indian mythology painting, with that big-ass fucking fun handlebar mustache, the green skin, his little horns. He's like the aesthetic. And yeah, the sitting down, talking to the kids, and of course, yeah, the Inquisitors, they're only ever intimidating if they're either A, going against non-force users, or B, the kidnapping the children. That this is their whole job. Whenever an actual Jedi shows up, they always get their asses kicked, no doubt. And like,
with the exception of the Grand Inquisitor.
Who was like a fucking glorified security guard in his previous job. Like he's like, if he had to go against like an actual, Kanan Jarrus he was a Padawan, and like the Inquisitors that Cal Kestis fights, they were also like, he was a Padawan when they were also Padawans. I think the Grand Inquisitor might be one of the oldest people to join that side, because in the book. Rise of the Red Blade, I think it is. I posted it back in our book Discord like years ago.
Okay.
You actually get to see the fall of one of the sisters and a brother she was romantically involved with. When they were literal Padawans, as the Clone Wars were going on and they were like losing all the actual Jedi Knights, they like suddenly promoted a bunch of the Padawans to Jedi Knights, including her. And guess what? When the fucking Empire goes down, she joins the fucking Inquisitors. And a number of those Inquisitors were very, very young kids that were just like taken from their masters and tortured. You actually get a lot more of this explained in the first Jedi Fallen Order game, which is another plugging of that great series. But yeah, the Inquisitors for the most part aren't that powerful compared to actual trained Jedi. That's why Ahsoka is like, can literally fight them with her eyes closed at the point whenever she runs into them. But like, because she's like an actual Jedi Knight level, like a real Knight level person. And so like, yeah, but when he was actually facing those kids and he was just like, scaring the shit out of them, being a dark, evil, demonic looking dude, he was fucking awesome. His aesthetic, like I said, despite the Clone Wars animation style, his actual physical aesthetic was pretty fucking cool, with the hood covering his little horns and everything. He was a cool ass villain. He was very scary when he was doing his job. But then, of course, a real Jedi shows up and kicks his ass, which is like how that's the fate of all Inquisitors, or a Sith, like how Darth Maul took out 3 of the fucking Inquisitors himself. But I love the aesthetic of the Inquisitor. He was fucking cool as hell. I love that dude.
Well,
favorite villain.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
And a positive reward for Bandits of Golak.
Right. But now here's the big question. We've already talked till we're blue in the face about antagonists. Mm-hmm. So, what's the worst protagonist?
Yeah, so I looked down at my notes finally, and I saw back when I was talking about how the worst story was Journey to the Darkhead. I couldn't remember boring guy's name, and then I looked down at there it is under least favorite protags, Tool or Tool, because he's a fucking tool. I don't know, Toul. Main kid from Journey to the Darkhead sucks. What else is there to say? He's a boring anime cliche. who like shouts anime cliches like "I'll destroy you" or like "I'll never forgive you," and then like that's all of his lines. He sucks. He's boring. He's terrible.
Cool.
Boo on him.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Same episode. The other one. I forget her name.
The other one. Yeah, the other one. That's as good as she deserves.
No, like seriously, you're looking through your old notes. What was her name?
I was looking at my notes. I literally had Toll like 3 tabs under worst villain. I had his name, and I couldn't even look down that far to see his name when we were talking about it. Let's see which
the pilot girl.
I was trying to see the name of the episode. Dirty Journey to the Dark Head.
Oh my god.
Was episode 5?
Yes, that was episode 5. That was the last one we did in the previous episode. Aura.
A-R-A.
Yeah. Aura. Oh my god. She was... Again, we talked about it in the worst written episode. Like, holy crap. Her plan was horrible. She was horrible. All she did was snark back at her. Look, he may have been a kid and a tool, but, like, he was still, like, the fucking Jedi she got. She could have at least shown some, like, you know.
Yeah, the Jedi were supporting her idea, so she should have fucking been fine with it.
Right, yeah, and, again, close second is the fucking Jedi kid that Matt said, but, like, she's just an absolute horrible person who had the stupidest fucking idea ever, and she had to go on this whole spirit-winding journey just to find out that her idea was fucking stupid.
Yeah, that everyone told her was stupid.
Yeah, everyone pretty much except for the one who's like, you know what, whatever, go on this journey. Pretty much, translation, go ahead, learn how stupid your idea is.
Yeah, go find out firsthand how dumb this thing is.
Yeah, just, nothing else needs to be said really about this.
Yeah.
So,
then,
yeah.
Best Pro Tag, I wonder if we're going to be in sync on this one as well.
Doll.
Yes.
Yep.
Doll. She fucking rules.
Again, like, I know this, again, a lot of these, like, where it was between Screecher's Reach and, a different episode for me was literally by, like, a singular point kind of thing. And, I'm gonna be real with you as well. One of the main reasons why I didn't put a lot of Screecher's Reach on this list is because it would have kind of dominated the entire
it would have been Screecher's Reach sweep.
Yeah. But yeah, Doll,
like Expedition 33 at the Golden Joysticks. All 13 nominations, nominated for every category and wins every category.
But with Doll, she is Cartoon Saloon. Again, they do wonders, even with their side characters. They do wonders with them. It's kind of like having like a video game, right? Where you have like your main character, right? And you have every single other character in it, every background character, every side character, etc. And each and every one of them have their own lore that you could like dig into. Doll is she's a regular girl who apparently you don't find out until the end of the episode has been kind of being like led by the Sith Mother to like but it wasn't like for nefarious reasons or anything. It was she had a shitty situation, and all of the Sith Mother wanted her to do was be stronger, and she did that, and that's why the Sith Mother was like, cool, you can come with me now, kind of thing. It wasn't like, yes, you're gonna be evil, you're gonna be enraged and everything. No, she was just a regular kid who wanted more for herself, and rather than taking like the long, like, wow, I'm blanking on the word. Matt, help.
Long way around? Long journeys?
Pacifist, thank you. That's the one. Rather than taking the long, drawn-out pacifistic route, it was a more direct approach. It was a more take actions kind of thing. Like, take heavy actions kind of thing. And she had a whole bunch of friends behind her. Like, actually wanting to help her. And all of these kids don't understand the whole balance of the Force thing or anything like that. None of them know what that is. So, which makes the ending even better, because just anyway. Sorry. Point is, Doll. Love this
is
character.
Incredible.
Great.
Her journey was like I said during the story thing. Like her journey is what I want every Star Wars character to go through. Just like given horrible life circumstances, you can see how the temptation of the dark side is an easy, obvious path that you can go down. Her heroic journey or like villainous journey, I would love to see where this goes from here because it's so fucking. I want more. Give me more. Give me more.
Right. I think you and I just legitimately went on a fucking tangent on that in the previous episode.
Yeah.
But now
she's great.
But now we get to go on these tirades because it's finally time, starting at 9th place, aka the worst episode, and stacking it on up to the number 1 spot, all in all. So, what's the worst episode in these 9 episodes, Matt? I already know which one you're gonna say.
Yeah. I will say, how did you want to do? Are we gonna do the whole list, or are we just gonna go one by one? How did you want
to? Let's do one by one because I think that's what we did last time with season 1.
All right, yeah. Last place, the fucking pit.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, by the way, we did not rehearse any of this. It's just apparently in this season, Matt and I have a lot of things we agree on with this one.
Yeah, we both have good opinions on Star Wars. But yeah, the pit.
You first. Number 9 is
what's there to say? It was boring and shitty. It was like a great idea executed in the most boring way. Crux sucks as a pro tag. He's boring and nothing. The aesthetic was a beautiful hand-drawn anime style, but like it was just an anime style, which we saw 1,000 of in the first season of Visions. Very watered down. The commander was a shit. Like the lead was boring. He was a regular fucking human with no force powers or weapons. The lead villain was boring. He was a generic fucking commander trooper who we never see a face of or get any actual backstory on.
Who didn't even shoot his gun. He just shot
never fired a gun once.
Non-lethally.
Yeah, never fired a gun once. Yeah, it was completely worthless. The idea was interesting, but a little cliche and a little like short-handedly done and executed very dumbly. Him like getting on a stand saying, "You gotta believe me. There's people in a pit," and like there's nothing in this entire city for like miles except for the fucking prison hellhole and then the city. So how did they not be aware of that? And also all these citizens of this rich, well-off city joining together to actually rescue these people in like a day is like so ridiculous. Like it all happened so quickly. Like those people would have been like, half of them would have been dead and eating the other half before they fucking were ever even like thought about being real. It was like a very placid, bland, boring, PG version of a very potentially very interesting and dark story that was just completely watered down to being like, nothing. It was a completely waste of time. There was nothing going on with it. It was trash. It sucked. Worst episode of the season.
And honestly, like you literally hit all the points. You hit all the points that makes it the worst for me as well. So we're just gonna say, yeah, that one's done. Going right up to 8 now. Second worst episode.
I'm sure we're going to agree on this as well. Yeah.
I have a feeling we are. Is it Journey to the Dark Head?
Yeah, Journey to the Dark Head.
Journey to the Dark Head. It's like, okay, the way I can describe this, alright? The only reason why Journey to the Dark Head is above the pit is because there's action scenes.
Yeah.
And again, if the villain did not take off his fucking mask.
Or he was an alien.
Or it was an alien race, yeah. But we've already sung this song before, but like, this was, where the pit was one dark concept that missed the mark heavily, this one was a whole bunch of different things. It's like, no disrespect to anyone who has this, because I know ADHD is a very, very serious condition, but it's like everyone had ADHD and just they couldn't keep it all together.
Yeah.
It was so muddied, it was so muddled, the characters were boring as hell, except for the villain, who then took off his mask and then became boring.
Yeah. It sucks.
But now, here's this, do you want to add anything?
I mean, no, we've already went over it. It was like a bad anime.
In my opinion, this is where it starts getting difficult for me. because
Legit,
all the
yeah,
other ones,
yeah.
because all the other ones were actually like really good. Like I like all of these other episodes, so for me to rank them, it was kind of difficult for some of these. So right in number 7.
I was gonna say, they're in the podcast. A couple of podcasts I follow that like rank lists. The way that they'll do it is that they won't like go into depth on their ranking until it's mentioned. Whatever the specific bit or like ranking thing is mentioned by both people. So I would like to say my number 7, and you would say your number 7. If they're different, we wouldn't go into depth until the next part where we like list our next ones and then say if one of those comes up again.
I'm sorry, what was that? Like, what do you mean?
So, like, I say number 7 is blank, and you say number 7 is something else for you. We'd go to number 6, and then if the one I said was 7 was 6 for you, like, when it comes up for both of our lists, then we go into why we put it there.
Oh, I mean, I guess we could try that out.
Yeah.
So, what's your number 7?
All right. I mean, we might still pair up on this one, though. So, number 7 is Bandits of Golak.
God damn it, we did!
Okay, good, perfect. Yeah, like of the ones that we like, this is just the one that didn't match up to the others. The fight scene was short and stolen, and then, like I said, the aesthetic was the Indian aesthetic was beautiful, but it was still like just Clone Wars animation style. It was interesting. The story was fascinating, but there wasn't enough going on to make it more interesting than the other ones.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, and that really is sad, the controversy. Like, that really is sad. Because again, that's a good villain. That is a good villain, and some of the characters are actually pretty cool. But, yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one, so... Mm-hmm. Matt, we need to stop doing this.
Well,
although I have good news.
Now, this is for me one is going to be actually more divisive from this forward. I think it's going to be more divisive. You're right.
These last, what was it, 6 more episodes?
Yeah, 6 more.
Yeah. I will say, I bet you anything that my number 6 is absolutely going to be different than yours. So.
I will bet as well, yes.
Yeah. So, my number 6 is in the stars.
Really? My number 6 was Sith.
Was Sith? Okay. So, then, since we're not going to go into detail yet, we're going to go to number 5, correct?
Yeah.
So what was your number 5, Matt?
My number 5 was In the Stars.
This is exactly what Matt was talking about, because mine is Sith. This is the thing Matt was talking about.
Well, that's funny.
So,
anyway.
Okay, Matt. Let's start with a different episode, all right? Let's start with In the Stars, okay?
Okay.
So, for you say this is your number 5, right?
Yeah.
So, for me, at least, why this is my number 6. Don't get me wrong. Like, as I said before, from 7 to 1, I like all of these episodes. I really do like them all. Well, okay, we'll say from 6 up. Because I can't believe we all agreed on the last 3.
First 3?
Yeah, like, holy crap. But, like, I like from 6 up. I like these 6 episodes a lot. For me, at least, it may take another watch for me to change what this one is. But it was, like, it had a good story. It had a good, like, message with it, at least, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the antagonist was, like, it didn't really hit hard with me. It was just random Imperial soldier, like
not so.
officer
I would say
number
maybe a Moff or officer. Yeah, officer or a Moff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say officer for now. Just like random officer 568.5.
Yeah.
And just the story, and like I do like the story a lot, but for some reason it just didn't click the same way like it did with other people. Like I said, I'll probably have to watch season 2 again, and the list might shift on this one, but like it's good, and I do like the uniqueness of the protagonists. But for you, however, the
I
reason
would
why
say
it's
I
your
put
number
in this.
5.
Yeah, I put it in stars slightly above Sith because, like I already mentioned, the music, beautiful, native instruments. The story was very explicitly, like I said back then, about the colonization of Chile and like the pollution of the almost like extinction of the native people that this race was based off of, that were like nearly wiped out by invaders and stuff like that. The aesthetic, the actual stop motion clay looking aesthetic of it, the actual alien race of the two sisters was cool as hell. There was almost a category I wanted to add as like best or worst annoying little sister or daughter trope, because there's so many like little sisters who are pests in this like batch of episodes. But yeah, the I like the sisters dynamic. It was very cute and fun. Their actual fighting was very cute when they're beating up the troopers and the random workers in the mill or with the water plant. But like the actual dingy aesthetic of everything, the design of the alien races, the story, the background story of their mother being a Force sensitive, them also being both Force sensitive and not trained in the ways of the Jedi or Sith, again, outside of that system. Like I felt like there was a lot going on in it, more so than the one that it was slightly above Sith. But I just like I said, narratively wise, I like what was going on in it. I like the aesthetic, and I like just the story and the characters a little bit more than Sith.
But now
the reason that Sith was slightly lower for
you.
me,
Yeah.
Like I said, beautiful. The art style looks exactly like fucking Into the Spider-Verse's beautiful 2D or 3D animation with like a beautiful frame rate, and the yellow and red aesthetics of everything was very fucking cool. I thought my favorite color is fucking yellow, so I love the fucking way her sabers look. But it was mostly a fight scene. Like the painting aspect was very cool. I wish we went more into her using the Force as an artist. But like once Lord Kutu showed up as her old master, very fucking cool idea. It just turns into like the fight sequence for the last half of it. Which is why like it was narratively it wasn't as, and like it wasn't what was it? It was a Spanish studio, as opposed to the Chilean one from South America. Very funny, those two were right in the middle for us. But like it didn't feel as specifically personal as some of the other ones that like made it about their culture and stuff like that. Lord Kutu and the painter, whose name I also didn't. I have to look up again. Her name
Lola, I believe.
Lola. She was She was very interesting. An older human prototype like that. But I just like the aesthetic and everything of Into the Stars a little bit more. How do you feel about Seth?
For me, yes, I will agree with you. It was more action than story. It felt, but to me, I felt Sith was a lot better. First off, I love the abstract into the Spider-Verse kind of art style kind of thing. I really do adore that kind of art style. I loved that the protagonist. Well, first off, gotta love and respect E2. Gotta show love for E2.
Rules.
Gotta show love for him.
E2 rules.
But
awesome.
And at the same time, I like the fact that slowly you start to learn that Lola was a Sith, and you don't get it through an explanation or anything like that. You get it through context clues and just slightly different, the banter that she has with Lord Kutu. You don't learn just straight up, here is some exposition, this is the next Sith. No, you learn through the story, through the character dialogue. And honestly, even though some of the outside landscapes were kind of could be described as blah kind of thing, I liked just how they did everything with that. And yes, the fight scene also itself was one of the more well done ones. And like you stated before, the use of the Force through art, through paint, is one of the most abstract ways that this has been done, and I adore that. I love that aspect. I mean, and of course, it's like one of those it's a redemption arc done right. Because honestly, she's she doesn't want to be a Sith anymore, kind of thing. And I guess in a way, she was fighting her inner demons because only it was in the form of her former master appeared and was like, "No, you're gonna be like this," kind of thing. I I like that. I like that kind of story kind of thing. Whereas in season 1, episode 9, I forget what that was one, like Adakari or something like that, where you get to see like a Jedi fall into the Sith in a very beautiful way. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched our first season special of it, please go back and like watch that. This one was the opposite for me. We actually got to see, like, to an extent, a Sith rise up and actually like gain redemption in a sense.
Yeah, very, very cool.
So yeah, that's why it's my number 5. Now, number 4, Matt. What was number 4 for you?
Number 4 is I Am Your Mother.
Motherfucker.
We are too in sync.
I am so glad we had this 5 and 6 thing going on, because son of a bitch, that's my number 4 as well.
Of course, it's a great, fun little Wallace and Gromit adventure.
It is. It's, and like I think, like we said in our previous episode, sometimes, you get like the, serious, like gritty, grueling stories, of good versus evil and like balance to the Force and everything like that. Sometimes you need something lighthearted,
Yeah, sometimes you tell your mom she's embarrassing and she needs to prove that she's awesome to you.
yeah. I mean, sometimes you just need that for every like
a nice personal little fun kid adventure.
Yeah, and the studio. What was it? I forget. What is the studio called?
Aardman.
Thank you, Aardman. Thank you. Aardman does a fantastic job at lighthearted and silly, while at least keeping your attention to the main story. It's not like so bananas that it's just like gonna like just, oh wow, look at all the pretty explosions and everything like that. No, there's still a story, and they're gonna make sure you remember, hey, there's a story, but it's so lighthearted. And how can you say no to British humor? How can you say no to British humor?
I had a total.
Just, oh my gosh. So, hey Matt.
Yeah.
I'm scared to say this.
I mean, there's a very good chance that these three are going to be the exact same for us, so we'll see.
Okay, let me guess. Number 3, your top 3, bronze medal, is going to be Spy Dancer.
No.
Finally, a different one.
Yeah, it's Owl's song for number 3.
Yeah, and guess what? Guess what my number 2 is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Guess what my number 2 is?
Yeah. Okay. So, this one right here, for me, these 3 and 2 for me, like I've said with some other things in our award ceremony, it was by a thread with me.
Of course, absolutely, yeah.
But like Spy Dancer being my number 3, I adore just like with I can say the same thing for all 3 of these. I adore the art style. I love the character dynamics. I fucking love the dance. I love everything about this. It was elegant. Like the main character was elegant. Sorry, the main protag was elegant. She had a tragic story, and you find out that the son was the Imperial trooper, the Imperial officer all along, kind of thing. Everything was executed beautifully. However, Ao Song did it better, in my opinion.
Yeah. You go. You finish your thoughts. Yeah.
Ao Song did it better because, because we're supposed to be talking about one episode at a time, right?
Well, sure. Why not? You go however you want.
Well, you know what? Fine. I'll just keep going on my tangent then. Ao Song did it better because yes, Ao Song. I love the story behind it. It was it was a well-told story and everything like that. Oh my god, we've sung the praises of how fucking cute this, all of the characters are in Ao Song. And the musical score, just like in the Spy Dancer, is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Just, again, it was by a thread. I meshed better, again, by a tiny little bit, with Ao Song being such a gorgeous masterpiece kind of thing. And the Spy Dancer is a really fun one. Like, I adore. I don't think I've ever told you, but I do have a few movies, and I've seen a few like animated films from other French studios as well.
Yeah.
Like Triplets of Belleville.
Oh yeah.
April and the. I'm gonna butcher this name, and I apologize. April in the Wonderful World, or something like that. I love the French art style. And yes, don't even get me started. I know Wakfu is also French as well.
Ooh, fucking Wakfu rules.
Wait, seriously?
Of course I fucking watch Wakfu. I talk about Nox all the time. Anyway.
Holy shit. Sorry, back on tapping. But, like, for some reason, even with all of that, something about Ao's song, I think it's actually because I'm a very musically inclined individual. Ao's song definitely clicked a little better because, sure, the Spy Dancer had a beautiful soundtrack and everything like that, but with Ao's song, it was the soundtrack, like, and everything with it was more prominent and more part of the plot, surprisingly enough, than the Spy Dancer. Now your turn, Matt.
All right, so yeah, for Ao's song, honestly, before we did the record, I think probably when I first watched the episodes and I was doing notes, I think I had Ao's song a lot lower on the list, actually, than it is now. It was, like, probably closer to, like 5 or 6 spots, I think, originally. But then as I did research and as I really thought about the episodes and as I, did, like, listen to all the stuff about them, Ao's song moved up a lot. I fucking love it. The aesthetic is so goddamn. Like I said, we've got over it. The aesthetic is beautiful as hell. Cynthia Erivo's fucking great. The aspect of, like, purifying the Grizzles and another story about somebody being taken by the Jedi is fucking a beautiful thing to watch and everything like that. But Into the the Spy Dancers, like, besides the actual beautiful animation studio, like we said, primal, fucking incredible animation in that. This studio is incredible. The fight sequences and the ribbon dancing was fucking insanely beautiful. The actual story of the mother whose son was taken away from her, becoming an Imperial officer. And the KX unit's fight sequences being absolutely terrifying to anybody who's, like, not force sensitive. Those things are nightmares, as cool as they are. But then again, on top of everything else, like, the main thing I would say is that this is, like, really shows the power of the filmmaker focus bits that I took time to watch, because, like, finding out that it's actually specifically about actual spy dancers in the 40s during Nazi occupation times, the actual Cambodian genocide by the Khmer Rouge and everything, like, but the people's offspring and kids being taken from them during an actual occupation and genocide of thing and, like, used against them. There's so much actual, like, real backstory. So, like, once again, just like how Into the Stars slightly beat out Sith because of the personal nature of the actual plot, Ao's song was beautiful. The actual, like, African choir singing in a mountain is fucking cool as hell. But the actual, like, real world story and a culture's influence being, like, Star Wars being used to show another culture's incredible similar backstory, which is, like, George Lucas always says that, like, yeah, the rebels in his original story back in the 70s was the Viet Cong. And, like, assholes today will be like, but that doesn't make any sense. That means that the Empire will be America. It's like, yeah, that's the fucking point. Any kind of imperial forces like that, any kind of colonizing forces like that, any kind of invading forces like that, like, all these countries besides, America have all these influences and backstories and, like, crazy storylines that, like, this have happened. And them actually showing it, like, Into the Stars or, like, in Spy Dancer, just really fucking, shows how absolutely amazing Star Wars is for a story venue. Absolutely. And, like, a story method and a universe. And so, yeah, but, like, yeah, and that's on top of the Spy Dancer's absolutely breathtaking animation and absolutely, tear-inducing story. So, yeah, Spy Dancer definitely was, it like, had solidified that spot for me for a long-ass time. But Ao's song, fucking beautifully adorable, a huge amount of effort by a tiny little studio. It's fucking incredible. They're both incredible, but Spy Dancer beats it out just from, like, the, like, big picture for me.
Yeah, no, I get that, too. Like, again, those two right here, apparently these two were, like, very neck and neck as well, but just, like, there's just so much about pretty much the top 3. Oh, you okay? Sorry, my cat was.
Yeah, I'm good.
No. Sorry, my cat was.
What?
One of my cats. One of my cats was doing some climbing on one of my dressers, and he kind of slipped and fell, but he's doing all right. Sorry. See, you thought the dogs were going to be the ones that interrupted. Nope, I had a cute visitor from a cat.
But I had to kick all my cats out of my office before I recorded because they were also.
I leave the door cracked open because I let the cats just free roam a little bit, and they usually don't come in or anything like that. But this was the first time, But anyway, but just now, Matt.
Of course.
Everyone by this point, from the first episode we recorded of season 2 to me talking about the pro tag, almost going on a complete tirade. We all know that our gold medal one is Screechers Reach. Absolutely.
Unbeatable.
Everything.
Unbeatable.
Again, Cartoon Saloon is just that good.
They have all those Emmys for animation for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. They do every single character they write near perfectly. Even if it's like some side character who's just supposed to be there to be a silly, right? Still beautifully written. The animation is beautiful. The soundtrack that they choose and like the sound design they did is beautiful. The animation in the dark, like with the monster, with the banshee type, dark side user,
hand drawn charcoal thing for the Screecher.
Fantastic, everything about this. And Doll, I'm gonna be real with you. Doll is very personable. Like, if you were in her situation, you would probably want a way out too, and you would probably have done the same thing with her. But the best part of all. And I said it with the best pro tag thing, and I'm going to say it again, but the best thing about this is the fact that it wasn't nefarious. This was a side of the Sith that was just like, cool, this kid has potential. We'll just take her on our side kind of thing. And the Sith Mother was calm. She wasn't like, I'm going to smack the shit out of you until you join the dark side. I'm not going to poke your rage or anything like that. It was just, hey, you want a way out? I have a way out. Just get stronger. And through that fight with the I just like to call it the Banshee. With that fight with the Banshee, she did. Yeah, she absolutely, like, it heavily implied, but she absolutely killed that Banshee lady. But like, she grew stronger. In a sense, she grew stronger. Depending on which way you want to look at it, no, she got stronger because she wouldn't have done that before, and you could see that like this was her first time like just escaping and wanting a way out kind of thing. But also her like the backup characters, none of these characters know anything about the light side, the dark side. They don't even know what a Sith is. So for her to be like, hey, no looking back, right? Her going to, like, for us, the viewers, we're like, yeah, that's a Sith. Holy shit, that's a Sith. You're going to the dark side kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those kids don't know that. They just see it as an out. And the other 3 are like, they're saddened, but they're like, yeah, if this is your chance, take it kind of thing. Don't look back. Go moving forward. You're the one who wanted wanted this more than anyone kind of thing. And they absolutely supported her. And I'm just sitting here like, God, this is why I love you, Cartoon Saloon.
Yeah, fucking incredible. Everyone was hilarious. Was it Quinn, Bathan, Keena, or the other 3 kids? Mm-hmm. They were fucking amazingly funny. Talking about how you kicked the Screecher up the arse. And yeah, the fucking I'll follow your path through with strength and courage chant was fucking incredible for a Sith mantra. Like everything from the beautiful art style to this terrifying villain to the terrifying Sith Mother at the end too. It was just insanely beautiful and amazing. Story-wise, aesthetic-wise, everything was perfect. It was just the best. It was some of the best Star Wars content ever, literally. Yeah,
absolutely
incredible.
And of course, like another thing, like you said, Matt, like yeah, terrifying. That was a Sith, but to someone who doesn't know, it's very like it's I think I've mentioned this
Enticing.
before.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned this before when Steven Universe was a strong, like, was in its prime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was fucking terrified of Blue Diamond. And I told you that because she's not, like a usual Sith. It's not like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you until you join me kind of thing. She was endearing. She was elegant. She was like, oh, I actually understand. She was empathetic. And then you find out then you realize she's a diamond. There's some flaws within that thing. Barring the way that a diamond thinks, with this one, it's through context clues, through the coloration of the starship. She's not foreboding. She's not intimidating. She is elegant. And like you said, actually, that was a good word, enticing. And so you're like, wow, she's a Sith. And yet she understands that, she probably doesn't know, this child doesn't know what good or dark is, light or dark is. I don't need to, like, scare the dark side into her kind of thing. I gave her a test. She succeeded through the test. Now she can become my apprentice kind of thing. Sorry. I could go on for hours about this. Such a good studio, beautiful. Such a good story, everything about it, peak perfection. I agree with Matt once again because my God, we need more like this.
Yeah, more Star Wars like this. Absolutely incredible. I want more. Give me more. Beautiful. I loved this batch of episodes. I loved it significantly more than part 1 because it was so uniquely different in art style wise and everything like that. And I remember before watching it, when I first saw the first season, I was like, oh, I love that. It's all fun anime aesthetic. And then I found the second one was going to be like a bunch of different art styles, like sight unseen. I was like very uninterested in it. I was like, oh, that's dumb. Why are they not going, sticking with the regular anime stuff or following up on those plot lines? But now having watched these, I'm like, this was incredible. And it was like a great choice on their part to stretch out and do studios.
Absolutely.
Now, should they have given everybody as equal freedom, fucking Dart Shijinto or whatever the hell that studio that was
the
like
Pit.
actually
you
part
just
of
call it the
Lucas,
Pit. The studio who did the Pit.
Yeah, the Pit fucking was the only downer. And Journey to the Dark Head was like, some generic anime bullshit. But like, I think
honestly,
it was great.
Yeah,
otherwise.
I want to see the alternative timeline where all of these, every single episode, including the Pit, got their own creative say in everything, and Lucasfilms did not have a say in anything. I would like to see how our list would have been if the Pit actually got to go through with what they wanted.
Yeah, but like I said, this season was absolutely incredible. I loved it to death. We'll get to the second part eventually, or the third part, I guess, technically. But when I do want to wrap this up a little bit, let's get some plugs in, and then we can go on what we're going to be doing next.
All right. So, for those of you who are returning listeners, and you know this, but for those new listeners, my name is Ben, and my plugs are. And those are my plugs. Matt, nice. What are your plugs?
Of course, Matthew Lewis Podcast, YouTube, Matthew Lewis Podcast, Patreon, Matthew Lewis Podcast, the RSS feeds, Matthew Lewis Podcast, Blue Sky, Matthew Lewis Podcast, Twitch. Check out the Forgotten Minotaur King book. Go buy my book. I need more sales. It's never not enough sales. Old episodes of Action Toon Bros. Fucking check them out. Movie Garbage. We should probably, by the time this comes out, possibly have our 5-hour-long Fast Furious episode out of just screaming about that stuff. It's insane. Yeah, listen to old episodes of that. The RSS feed is on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Check it out everywhere. No, what other? I have Movie Garbage, Action Toon Bros, Forgotten Minotaur King, other projects still in the works. Have been in for like years now, but I'll figure something out eventually.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, follow all of our shit. Oh yeah, I also have a Mox field for Magic the Gathering. I've been posting some, like as of this recording, I started posting some Magic the Gathering stuff.
Also known as Magic the Gathering ASMR.
Yeah,
brought
pretty
to you
much.
by Matthew Lewis, and that's all his thing. I am not a part of that one.
Yeah, I started opening some packs. I still have not even touched the play box of Avatar cards yet. I still have like fucking 400 cards I have to open up in that box eventually. Hopefully by the time this comes out, fucking 4 months from this recording, I'll have that episode. I'll have those opened up and finished. But besides that, let's hit next. So before the episode started, we were kind of on the fence about either doing the next season right away for Visions or continuing to the next series, which would be back to Fillmore.
Right.
I was on the fence for the most part. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to do, but since we do have, this was our first special in literal years, which is, we need to fix that. But I wanted to say that I think for the time being, I do want to wrap up our series since we don't have that much left of either of them.
Okay, yeah, that's
I think
fair.
we only have like 4 or 5 episodes left of Metalocalypse and then the movies. And I know, calculations-wise, that we only have 4 episodes of Fillmore until we're finished with that series.
Okay.
And I would probably, just like we took a break for this one, I would probably wait till we finish up those, which should probably be proportionally about 4 months from now. But when we would do our next actual special, if you're cool with that, Ben.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, I posed the idea and said to mull it over. Sounds like you did. And honestly, everything you said makes sense. So, yeah. So, what would our next episode be then? Would it be Fillmore?
The next episode is going to be the beginning of Fillmore Season 2.
Right. Okay, good. So, yeah, look forward to that. And, this was fun. We got to go back to a Star Wars kind of special. And yeah, just, oh my god, seriously guys, if you want to, please, I highly recommend. It's a few years in the past, but like, listen to our season 1 episodes of Star Wars Visions. Great show. Please, by all means, if you do have a Disney Plus, go and watch this series. Like, it's incredible. It's
fantastic.
Amazing. But yeah, so just gonna wrap it up a little bit here. What do you think, Matt?
I was gonna say, anyway, we can stretch this out for 6 more minutes and we can hit 3 hours for the episode.
You want
Star
to?
Wars content wise, why not? I was gonna say again, I've been pimping it this whole episode. Jedi Survive. I can't remember if Jedi Survivors.
Vampire Survivors. Got it.
Yeah, Vampire Survivors. No, the follow up to Fallen Order. Absolutely incredible game. It's some of the, like I said before, it was probably my favorite Star Wars thing, movie, video game, TV show, anything for the longest time. This season of Visions does compete, I'll say, because it's fucking great. But yeah, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is incredible. Just the aesthetics of it, the actual gameplay mechanics of it is like a Souls game if you're not too familiar with that art kind of style. But it's like 100% canon, the actual following of Inquisitors. You actually get more backstory on them, more story on the Jedi. You get to see a lot more of the High Republic stuff. It's a huge, massive recommendation. The games are pretty old by this point, so they should be on sale somewhere.
Right, that makes sense.
Ben, you have your Rebels stuff that you finished up season. The final season of Rebels.
Well,
any plans on checking out Bad Batch or any of the? Yeah, rewatch. I watched the first 2 seasons of Bad Batch and it was pretty good. It's like a slightly more. It's like the darker seasons of Clone Wars in like tone. The Bad Batch is, so I definitely would consider that.
That one's
and then the Tales of as well.
That one specifically is. I'll need to think about that more because, as I think I've mentioned before on some of these episodes, but the Clone Wars, yes, I liked the Clone Wars. It's a fun watch. Not necessarily my top favorite of the shows. So I mean, so the Bad Batch kind of thing, I'd have to be really interested in it. However, I do absolutely need to actually get off my lazy butt and watch season 3 of The Mandalorian finally. I do absolutely, now that I've reacquainted myself with the finale of Rebels, need to watch the Ahsoka series. And the Tales of series seems very interesting. And Matt will not shut up about this. I might consider watching The Acolyte.
Oh God, it's so good! It's so good.
Yeah, seriously,
the
Matt
Sith
is
are so good.
I was gonna say, you know what, Matt? I think we've asked this before, but we're gonna ask this again. All right?
Yeah.
For our viewers, since we're stretching this out until 3 hours. Sith or Jedi?
I mean, come on, it's an easy fucking choice. The Sith are like infinitely more interesting and more powerful. The Jedi suck, and they're wrong for everything that they did. It's proven multiple times that their teachings were bad and not correct because the amount of fucking trouble that they caused to themselves by their like weird sterile monk-like lifestyle that just breeds contempt and like issues with anybody who wants to have a normal life. We've seen so many people outside of the Jedi Order living normal lives and having families and still being force sensitive that weren't corrupted by the dark side as well. That like it becomes even more absurd. It's crazy. Everything from the prequel series was bad. The way that they behaved was. It fucked Anakin up. It fucked Ahsoka up. Barriss Offee left because they were so stupid and ridiculous. Rise of the Red Blade is really, really fantastic. Check out that book about, like I said, it's literally the end days of the Clone Wars from a low-level Padawan's perspective and how they transition from that to becoming an Inquisitor along with the other Inquisitors. Huge recommendation because, you actually see, they're supposed to be monks, but they're, sending their generals in an army working for the government to fight separatists who honestly, you know what, you said Jedi or Sith, I would probably say separatists before anything because
of course you would.
The Confederacy of Independent Systems had a lot of good ideas.
I forgot I forgot you like being more the puppet than the puppeteer because they're great. Let's be honest, the Sith were puppeteering the I almost called it the Confederate, the separatists.
I mean, that's their real name is the Confederacy of Independent Systems. That's the actual name for the actual group.
For me, honestly, I hate being full on dark side. I hate being full on light side. I hate the Jedi Order and their beliefs. And where the Sith have some ideals that are at least more, relatable than others, I would say that I would probably consider myself more a dark Jedi. Not necessarily a Sith, cool. But not necessarily a Jedi either. But a little bit more influence with dark side, but can still do a little bit of that light side shit.
Yep. Again, to pimp out Fallen Order. The fucking dude in that who is a dark Jedi who's taken over Dathomir after the witches are all wiped out. He is a fucking cool ass dude. He's aesthetic is awesome. He fucking does 2 red lightsabers. He's the fucking cool ass dark Jedi. He's awesome as hell. Fucking huge recommendation for checking out that guy because he's fucking cool. Malicos, I think his name is. Yeah, Malicos. Terran Malicos in Fallen Order is one of the coolest dark Jedis in the new canon. Gotcha. All right, so we've hit 3 hours.
Yes, we did.
About Star Wars
I was just about to say, and with that, folks, but yeah, we finally hit our 3 hours. Woo! Matt, edit in some horn sounds or something like that.
Oh, great! Now I have to do that. Thanks, Ed.
I mean, you don't have to. You know how many people say edit this in and nothing happens?
No, people say edit this out, and I don't edit it out. Whenever you make some dumb request, did you not listen?
I see. So if I want you to edit something in, you have to do it. If I want you to take something out, you won't do it. Anyway, silliness aside, this was a fun episode. This was a fun breath of fresh air. And seriously, you don't even have to be a fan of Star Wars, and you don't have to get in depth like we do. But seriously, if you do have a Disney Plus, go watch Star Wars Visions. It's great.
Or if you don't have a Disney Plus, check it out on Watch Cartoons.
Oy, oy, oy. Anyway, from us here at Action Toon Bros, have fun, stay safe, and as always, keep it sleazy.
I follow your path with strength and courage.